It's GhanaTalks Breakfast Show. It's a beautiful Thursday morning, and you are welcome to the GhanaTalks Breakfast Show right here on GhanaTalks Radio. Good morning to you, and you are welcome to the news review right here on GhanaTalks Radio. Right here, we bring you all the latest headlines making waves in the news, from business to politics, from sports to entertainment. We got you covered with the most relevant stories and informed perspectives on issues that matter to you every morning right here on the show. Remember that you're streaming live on Facebook at GhanaTalks Radio, on YouTube at GhanaTalks Radio, and also on X at GhanaTalks Radio. Do all to send in your comments. We will do all to read them back to you. Let's get interactive and engage with us right here on the morning show. I remain your host, Ruth Esinam Fiagbadu, and sitting right here in the studios this morning with me is Miss Regina Bless. Good morning, Miss Regina.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm good, your side.
I'm doing well. Hope all is well.
All is well.
Yeah, it's a beautiful morning, and we are back at it again.
Yeah.
We are here to feed the people again. But before we get into it, there's this trend online.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this started with the Ghana Standard Authority that has to do with the fake mattresses we are seeing. And if you go on social media, people are cutting their mattress to find out if it is indeed foam or it is what. Yesterday I watched a video and some people found cardboard. They found cardboard, and hey, that the leaves they used to feed is it the horse?
Yeah.
Yes. I said Mephi. That is what they found in your mattress. After a long day's work, you go home to relax your back and rest yourself, and then you find out that you are sleeping on plastics. You see the material that the takeaway material, and no more need to do the anything.
No more there.
Mattress. Yes, someone to mattress. But I don't think that this one we will have to blame the consumers. But I think we will have to blame ourselves as a country that we will allow these people to come and be producing mattress and be producing certain products and materials, and we don't even inspect what they use it for, the chemicals and all of those things they use it for. And mind you that you sleeping on it has a side effect too, because you wake up and then you feel so exhausted, you feel so tired, you feel body pains. It's not your hometown girl, so it is the mattress you are sleeping on. Mama China for she said be China. Uko be the made in China. Hey babe, please. At this juncture, it is becoming unbecoming. Miss Gina, I think that's a good thing the Ghana Standard Authority actually did there. But I actually wish that they could have done it earlier, because they've sold the mattress and it's already in the system. People are already sleeping on it.
Looking at this issue, I wouldn't blame Ghanaians, but rather the right authorities. And as you said, Ghana Standard Authority, what took them so long to crack down on these people? It's rather unfortunate that the harm has already been done, because a lot of people have already purchased it. And I would also say, on the aspect of Ghanaians, it's due to, should I say, greediness and wanting to always purchase goods that are inferior, goods that are less expensive. Less expensive always doesn't mean that the product being used is cheap, but sometimes less expensive means that the product is also expensive. At the end of the day, your health would be intact. By looking at these Chinese officials, a video circulating on social media showed one man ocean mattress soon, and he took it to the China mall. He bought it 350 cedis.
How can you buy such a mattress?
And I was like, so you've bought mattress 350 and you still had the audacity to send it back. I understand it's your own money and you need to see value for your money, but mattress 350 in this era, oh no, it is not done anywhere. Latest from Impoyeseng, ash from Impoyeseng.
I think this is the time that their market has come.
Exactly.
And they will increase their prices too.
You buy because you don't have a choice. Lowering cry no. And also trying the rubber and a shame.
Oh, come
and
on.
I'm like, so does it mean that all the time we wake up with body pains? This is maybe I'm trying medium. I'll not cut it.
Sure.
But mine is soft, but I'll still not cut it. And I saw a video of one young guy who also cut his, and he found out that it was made of spring. And that is spring with the upper layer is foam, and it's normal.
Okay.
I think they said there's a mattress that has especially with people whose back is not aligned. Into mattresses be also saying we have your friend is saying massaging beds. We have beds that how would I put it? What is it called? Water bed. So it's different kinds. So this one, to take it like that, it is rubber bed.
I think now to have seen compressed bed.
Yes.
That one too. How is it like?
Oh, you can just. I think it's also portable, so you just compress it, take it anywhere
durability.
You go.
For how long is it going to last?
It is durable. I mean, we also have a compressed chest.
Yeah.
Hey, China for.
Miss Debbie, are you sleeping on one? Did you check your bed?
No, I think one of the best foam ever is latest foam.
Of course.
I don't know whether you've used it before, but then I remember when I was back in senior high school, the foam I used was latest foam, and up to now, I can tell you that the foam is still, the mattress is still intact.
Yeah, I brought mine back. I'm still sleeping on it.
You see, it's still intact. There is no way if you buy foam mattress and then in a pace of 1 month, like it's wrinkled, it becomes so soft. I mean, you've went to Body House before, so you know what I'm talking about. In a pace of 1 or 2 months, then you see people's mattress become as if they've pumped air into it, and all of a sudden it becomes so small and wrinkled. But with latest foam is the best. I'm telling you the fact. But you see, we don't want expensive stuffs. We want things that are less expensive. And when you look at the settings here in Ghana, if you look at companies that their goods are very, like, they are less expensive or comes with a low cost, is the Chinese companies. If you go to Chinatown or China Mall, their things are less expensive. Although some things are quite expensive though, but not too much. So tell me, in this current era, I mean, I went to ask of a bed, is the 2-in-1 bed, 2,000 plus, 2,000 to 3,000 plus, and then you went to buy a bed 350 cedis, and what are you expecting? A foam? No.
But it's serious.
No, you wouldn't.
It's serious.
But this is not the first time. I think somewhere last year, this same Ghana Standard Authority brought out an expose where they found that some companies are selling materials, and then the what's the name? The materials they use in producing the mattress, it's not healthy to the body.
Of course.
So I think they locked down their shops and all that. And then, according to them, these people's shops have been locked, but they've reopened it without the directive from the Ghana Standard Authority. So it feels like they are doing what pleases them. So I feel like this is the right time. In as much as Ghanaians are purchasing your stuff, doesn't mean that you should bring in inferior goods. No.
We should bring in inferior goods. That's a good one from the Ghana Standard Authority.
But they have to be very proactive. They found that also the bulb.
Yes. It's not made in any country. They did a crackdown, I think, in one of the malls, China Mall, and we've consumed some things. I think we've consumed some things, and then we are just hoping that the Ghana Standard Authority up their game. The Chinese people, we are bringing them into the country to come and work, but that does not mean that you should come and do anything you want. Make sure that it meets to the standard of the country as well. Right, let's proceed to our news item. Government to procure locomotives, wagons to boost rail sector, Transport Minister. The Ministry of Transport says government is taking steps to strengthen Ghana's railway system by procuring new equipment from the United Kingdom. Transport Minister Joseph Bukari Nikpi, announced that Ghana will acquire 2 locomotive engines and 2 wagons. The locomotives will support passenger train services, while the wagons will be used to transport cargo such as minerals and other heavy goods. According to the minister, officials from the Railway Development Authority and the ministry's rail services are currently in the UK inspecting the equipment before final procurement. He explained that the move is part of government's broader plan to revive and modernize the railway sector and make it more efficient. The project is also expected to improve passenger rail services, boost cargo transportation, support mining logistics, and create jobs within the railway sector. Mr. Nikpi added that expanding rail operations will help re-employ railway workers who are currently not actively engaged. He said the goal is to make the railway system more productive and better positioned to support Ghana's transport and industrial needs. Transport Ministry. Government to procure locomotives, wagons to boost rail sector transport system. I think this, we've seen it before. Not in terms of buying this, but we saw that the government procured trains. Are the trains working? Which areas are they working? The cars you said you were going to bring to us, we've seen that you bought some. Have you finished maintaining it and making sure that it will be well sustained before you are bringing this one at a time? In as much as we are excited about it, it's going to create employment, but I think that we shouldn't be rushing and be promising the people. Miss Debbie, the transport system sector there, they have issues, if you ask me.
And they are not up in their games. I mean, his response is to the railway workers who says in the coming week, that will be 30th May, they are going to protest against the government. And that is because the government owed them arrears, salary arrears, which they are supposed to receive, and then they've not received for months. Now you look at the wagon is supposed to carry heavy goods, containers, and all that. I feel like we have the pressure is so much on our port. When you go to the port, we know that is
that is the only way.
Yeah, that is the only way in. And so if we are going to bring in this locomotives and this wagon, it means that it's going to decrease some sort of pressure on our port. And then when it happens like that, as is being stated, it's going to create jobs for these railway workers who are still in the house, because don't forget that some railways are not working. I mean, they don't even have train on the railway before you will get people to work there. So if this is the motive of the transport ministry, then it means they are going to bring in new people, and since you are working for the government, you cannot work empty-handed. You need to be paid, and so in a way it's going to decrease some sort of unemployment. But when I saw this, the first question that came in mind is, are they just saying this because they just want to
say something to the railway workers?
Or they are saying it because they meant it? You don't tell me that you want to give me a job, and then at the end of the day you come telling me a different story. No. So long as the promise comes, you need to fulfill your promise. And you see, I feel like this government is making a lot of promises. Anytime they get somewhere, like the promises keeps coming, and it's so enticing to the ear. But the question is, how is this thing going to manifest? How sure are we that it's going to materialize? They shouldn't forget that they have less than a year. So sometimes I kept asking myself, are they going to do this like in a year, like within a year term? Are they going to do that? Yesterday, I by chance came across a video, and then they were talking about, I'm not diverting this whole issue, no. They were talking about the government so far, how the government has come and all that. And I think one thing that everyone was complaining about has to do with their calmness in solving the issue with Galamsey. I just don't want to dive, but then it just came, so I just have to bring it on board. Now back to what we were saying. This is very, very serious. These people they've already protested, and they were not being heard. They said they've met with the Labour Commission, and as it stands now, they are still not hearing anything. So with this, for me, it's a response to them that this is what we plan to do. How fast is this going to happen?
Because at what point did they decided to go and procure the locomotives? Was it after they protested, or they announced? Because I'm just seeing this just yesterday.
Yeah, yes, it came yesterday. I'm sure it's after they protested, or after they've created the awareness that they'll be going on a strike if their pleas are not being heeded too. So for me, I just hope what he's saying comes to pass, because mind you saying this doesn't end here. They are going to hold you responsible if you say this and you don't fulfill it. And when it happens like that, there is this kind of, they've lost trust in the system. In fact, the transport ministry as a whole needs to sit up. Their work is not encouraging. At all, it's not encouraging. Even just yesterday, I got to know that they very soon they'll deploy those 100 buses. Up to now, they've not deployed those buses. Well, we are looking up to them.
So they are the car park.
Yes.
Doing what?
I don't know.
Miss Regina, do you see this as another promise to calm the people? Or you think indeed we can work with the rail system here? Because we have, they brought a train, and then in the next 2 days, they say, Omo di bibia to railway kwani when a train ko pem here, and they say, hey,
it is home use train. It is not. What's tell me a brand new train?
It's possible.
It could be.
It's possible.
It could be.
It's just like a new car.
Yeah.
Accident,
Or a new phone.
It's possible.
It's possible.
Brand new, like
it's
proper train.
Mm-hmm.
It is possible.
So you trust this system that
Machine is
all the
machine.
trains, even this vehicle they are bringing on board is fresh new.
Oh,
It's not home use.
Oh, the vehicles, I think they are brand new.
brand new. The first question we need to ask ourselves is, when we look at Ghana's railway system, is it modernized? Is it enough? The railway system I know of, Bako or Circle,
Yes.
Pokwase,
Accra.
we are going to Pokwase, one is there.
Yeah.
Accra.
Yeah.
And Wales, I think Tema.
Yes. One is
One
also
is
in
also
Tema.
there. And looking at those railways, see, it needs a lot of work because it has been abandoned for a very, long time. And I don't want the ministry to make this seem like another cheap talk, because honestly, looking at all these disadvantages, it seems like another cheap talk. You don't just bring in machines into the country whilst you don't fix the main issue at hand. And the akoye say what the cars eba Ghana, and so okwanyenye potholes how would you ride the car at the end of the day? Ebe say. So all those road systems, they need to fix it. Some of this scrap condemn, they are already utilizing it. Even Accra, there's a train, a train there. People are sleeping in it because we are not utilizing these train systems in Ghana. So I don't really share. They can't do it.
Let's give them the benefits of the doubts that they can do it.
Which benefits?
But at the time at which it's coming, is it achievable?
I'll not waste my benefits of doubt. I can't waste it. I don't trust them, and I don't believe in them. And as you said, when did they make all these arrangements?
Exactly.
And is the arrangement even in existence? Is it real? Or is because these people came out to threaten a protest before they are coming up with all these promises? They are building castle in the air, right?
But do you think that if we have a railway system here, it will help?
It would help.
But looking at the experience we've had as a country so far with trains.
Which experience have you had with trains? With the past administration? Or
when we stopped using train, it's not enough.
yes, but we can do it. If only they want to do it, they can do it. And train systems would, I think, lessen the pressure on all these short drivers.
And also our roads.
Exactly. So I think it would
Yeah,
help.
I think we should find a better approach, a better measure, and a better strategy to put in place to make sure that our road system work again. Cocoa farmers accuse cocoa board officials of private cocoa buying. Some cocoa farmers in Ghana say certain officials within the cocoa regulatory system are allegedly involved in private cocoa buying activities that are affecting fairness in the sector. The concerns were raised by the Ghana National Cocoa Farmers Association during a partnership event with the Produce Buying Company, which is aimed at strengthening cocoa purchasing operations and improving conditions for farmers. The president of the Ghana National Cocoa Farmers Association, Stevenson Anane Boaten, said these alleged practices are creating mistrust and weakening the cocoa value chain. According to the association, some of the key issues affecting the sector include alleged involvement of officials in private cocoa buying, cocoa smuggling across borders, illegal mining on cocoa farms, that is galamsey, delays in payment to farmers, and financial pressure on license buying companies. The group warned that such challenges are distorting competition and making it harder for genuine cocoa buyers and farmers to operate fairly. The farmers say these problems are also affecting confidence in the sector and contributing to wider financial difficulties within Ghana's cocoa industry. The Ghana National Cocoa Farmers Association says its partnership with the Produce Buying Company is aimed at restoring trust and strengthening cocoa purchasing systems. The association is also calling for stronger transparency in cocoa purchasing, better accountability among regulators, fair competition in the cocoa market, and also faster payment to cocoa farmers. So it is alleged that cocoa board officials are selling cocoa privately to some officials and to some people, and the farmers are complaining. Miss Debbie, you were saying something?
No, I said buying.
Yeah,
Said
they are
were buying it privately. So which means that they are not paying attention to the ones we have here.
Yeah.
And so we are buying cocoa outside our own country. So in a way, it means, if this is true, then it means that some officials in cocoa board are not helping the government, because when you look at the cocoa sector, a lot is going on. The cocoa farmers are crying because they are not being paid what is due them, in as much as our price is far better than Cote d'Ivoire and other countries. And then sometimes, because of that, there were instances where it was alleged that they were even smuggling their cocoa into Ghana here, because they've realized that our prices were fair enough. But then our cocoa farmers are not seeing that, because, see, let's be sincere with this issue. Cocoa is not an easy task. You put in your all in all. Cocoa is not like maize. When you plant maize today, you know that within 1 week or 2 weeks, it has to germinate. And then within a month or 2 month time, 2 months, because I said also, within a month time, it should be okay. Like, it should be near a time where it needs to be harvested. But when it has to do with cocoa, it takes a long period of time.
Yeah.
And then it's not just like you pouring water. You need to add weedicide, pesticide, and all that. Your energy, your money, everything goes into it. And even when it's ripened for harvest, you can't do it alone. You bring in people to help you do that. And you pay all these people as well. So if this happens, and then at the end of the day, you put in your energy, your money, and then you don't get what is due, it's frustrating. And it's kind of diminish your interest in farming, or that kind of interest that has to do with cocoa farming. So if cocoa board, who are intermediary between the government and cocoa farmers, and who are supposed to help these cocoa farmers, allegedly are doing this, then what are you saying? So I feel like they have to look into this, and whoever is responsible for this act, they need to take them on. Because you cannot make the work of the government so difficult. The opposition is trying everything possible to make it look as if whatever the farmers are going through is the fault of this current administration. So if you don't align yourself very well and then you are digging a pit for yourself, the opposition will push you inside because you are digging the pit yourself. These opposition parties have the time to go to these cocoa farmers in their various localities, speak to them and push them things into their heads. So why do you make things so difficult? So for me, there shouldn't be something that should be taken lightly. They need to, and I know definitely they are going to set a member committee. Say they
to investigate into the issue.
They will set a member committee. They will investigate these issues, and lo and behold, they'll fish them out. And when they are being fished out, they should dance to the tune of their own music, so that when you do that, in a way, you are telling these people that you care. That is not what you meant. And if some people do not align with the directive of the government, then you need to be subtracted from the equation, because you cannot come and disrupt their work. So for me, I think they shouldn't be taken lightly. It should be taken with all seriousness.
With all seriousness. The allegations shouldn't be taken lightly. You shouldn't, even if it is a lie, I think the government still has to take it on, because when it comes to cocoa, cocoa is, I think, one of the bodies that the government generates a lot of funds from there. So if it is alleged that officials at Cocoa Board are buying cocoa from some farmers outside Ghana, then I think that it's a serious issue that the government has to take it on, and officials at Cocoa Board also have to take it on to look into it. But Ms. Regina, do you think it's precisely because the cocoa farmers right here in our country don't want to accept the price that the government has set? That is why these officials have allegedly taken a step to buy from other states that are willing to take the money.
So does it mean that they buy or they sell?
They are
the
buying
officials, they buy it from other
farmers,
from different countries at a lower price.
At our price.
They didn't state if it's at a lower price.
But I'm sure it will be the price, because our price is favorable.
With all this, we need to know the reason why they are buying from other countries. Whilst we have cocoa seeds in Ghana here, they can purchase. I don't know if you
I think when we catch those people, they will have to question them. Yes, because they will have to explain why they are buying from other countries. Yeah.
With all, it is not 100% assured.
Yes.
So it's still allegedly. So with all this, if it's really true, these people are just, excuse me to say, are hell-bent on sabotaging the plans of the government. Simple and fair. Because tell me why we already have some of these cocoa beans in our country, and you are buying from other people. Like, what are you trying to gain? What is your essence? What is the end goal of all this? And with all this that is going on, at the end of the day, aside the farmers suffering it, the government would also suffer it.
Yeah.
Because they'll run at a loss. Our cocoa, they always say, is the backbone of Ghana's economy. But as it stands now, that backbone, it is trampling on its own. It can't do it alone. It needs supportive hands, supportive people. So if this is what these farmers are alleging, I think it is time for the Cocoa Board themselves to start an investigation. They need to investigate it thoroughly and secretly, and at the end of the day, they need to fish out all those people. Because see, if they turn a blind eye to this, we would face a lot of issues when it comes to the Cocoa Board.
Yeah. So they shouldn't turn a blind eye on this.
At all.
They should take it serious. All the association is asking for stronger transparency in cocoa purchasing. Just be transparent with us, who you are purchasing from, how you are doing the purchasing, and the money you are giving to them. Better accountability among regulators, fair competition in the cocoa market, and faster payment to farmers. That is all what the association is asking for. So as my two brilliant ladies have said, they shouldn't take it lightly. they should, the government should look into it. I think that will help us to find out if indeed they are playing with our monies or not.
And even if at the end of the investigation it turns out that it is false, those people, farmers who allege that needs to be taken on by the law.
They should be punished.
Because you cannot just sit down and then make false accusation just like that.
So
but
the ones
I
that
feel
made
something is really happening. That is why they said that, because you can't just wake up and just allege something.
There's no smoke without fire. Let's move on. Oral not failing. NPP fears officials will go to jail. Ayeni. The Attorney General, Dr. Dominic Ayeni, says the government's oral anti-corruption program is not failing, despite claims from critics. He says instead, the initiative is actively producing results through ongoing court cases, which he believes is putting pressure on the opposition NPP. According to him, some members of the NPP are worried because the cases being prosecuted could lead to convictions and jail terms. Dr. Ayeni also insists his office has stepped up corruption prosecutions, claiming he has initiated several major cases within a year. He maintains that Oral is still active and working, and that government is committed to pursuing corruption cases without delay. If you say you have, according to him, some members of the NPP are worried because the cases being prosecuted could lead to conviction and jail terms. If it could lead to them, please do it, because other countries are practicing it. How different are we from those countries? Convict these people, jail them. If indeed they are found guilty and culpable, please take them on. At this juncture, I think we are losing faith in Oral. My opinion, I'm losing faith in Oral, because back in opposition, the way they were making noise about it, Operation Recover or loot, all loot, they themselves, they are looting. Mess with you now.
Why are you aggressive this morning?
No, it's
see they themselves, they are looting. Where's the evidence?
See, all of them. I didn't mention anybody's name.
But first off, Oral was formed for everyone, both the MPP and the NDC. In as much as NDC set it up, I think it was for both parties. But Dominic Ayeni, with the statement, he will make people feel like they are only targeting the NPP officials.
Looking at the statement.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying?
So when I said that, I was like, hey, Maya saying yamu, because with this statement, one kasano Attorney General Campo NDC for na FA.
Yeah.
Now was a car same way. When it comes to Operation Recover All Loot, I don't really know what they are doing, but per what I know,
I think Wuntumi's case is part of Oral. Yeah. I think so far that's the only case I've seen that
they are really
pursuing.
Exactly. So I think yesterday Oral.
Is it a Sky Train?
No,
cases
not
that were
the
close.
Sky Train is part. The MSS Ghost Name Scandal was part. Edu Boahin's case is also part of Oral.
Okay, so with Oral, they brought up, I don't know how to call it, maybe a picture where they gave an outline of Oral cases in court this week. And first off was Monday, they had a criminal court of Gifty Owari. And that same day, they also had a Kunta mining issue, High Court, Republic versus Bernard Enchi Bosiakon, yes. And I think today being Thursday, they also have another one with Gifty Owari. And 2:00 p.m. they have one with Chema Wuntumi again. See, with all what is happening to Chema Wuntumi, I feel so bad.
And he's still campaigning.
And I don't know, one of you asked the question, so now that he's still campaigning and his issue is in court, what if he's being arrested and detained automatically? What happens to that campaign?
Still take him. as the chair.
But I think at this juncture, that is when NPP has to come in and call him to halt his campaign. Finish with your case.
Exactly.
So what if they jail you right
with
now?
that case, no, and then no maybe
You get it.
with this case, because from this case, maybe 2 years, 3 years, they will still be on this case.
At least for the reputation of your party.
I wouldn't say they are indulging criminals, but as it stands now, that is what they are doing.
That is
it's
what
like they are breeding criminals in their camps. Even if someone is doing something bad, I don't know if so they are scared to talk about it.
He's the financier of the party.
Yeah, oh yes, Chairman Woon to me. Sure. Hey. So when it comes to the oral cases, I think they really need to be fair and transparent with it. They also need to be very serious with it, because a lot of people really voted for the NDC government because of oral. And as SNM said, how they preached about it, how they make noise about it. You say, I know what they call you Bosiano, and you need it, and that is what the NDC are doing. They made a whole lot of noise, and we will arrest these people. We arrest these people. You are not seeing anything. Maybe at the end of the day, all these cases they've mentioned that are in court, maybe we will see a positive end result. As he said, me too. I've lost hope. I don't think they will jail anyone.
You don't think they will
And
jail?
from what I'm hearing, they said they will never jail anyone.
They should prove us wrong. Miss Debbie.
So Operation Recover All Loot came to play in 2024 when the NDC was hailing it. And so to them, they felt like the NPP government has looted from the state. The more reason why, it's not as if they are targeting the NPP government, but it's because they were the previous government. They left office before the NDC came on board. So definitely, you are handling the economy. So if we find a challenge in a sector or something, we are going to blame you, because all the people handling those offices were appointed by the NPP government. So you don't expect the NDC government to go after anyone. They can only go after an NDC person who was appointed during the NPP administration. So when they are going to the NPP, doesn't mean that they are on them, but because you held the office, you are in this office, and then after 4 years you are out and I'm in, and then I found challenges. You need to come and explain to me why we have this challenge here. And so no one is attacking the NPP. Now we are talking about Operation Recover All Loot. They said they are going after politicians who held positions in government, they embezzle state fund without being accountable to the people, and so they are going to recover all those money from them and then jail them if possible. But as it stands now, we don't even know whether they were able to recover any amount of money. It looks like all the people that were teamed up for this Operation Recovered All Loot, they are asleep. Okujeto Ablakwa is part of the board. This man that I love so much, the former Auditor General, Dr. Yao Domelevo, was on the board. Now we don't hear from them at all. Everyone is quiet, and every time you hear from them, oh, we are working. You are working, sure working. It's just like mathematics. You don't tell me with your math that you can solve math. You solve it so that I see. You sure working. You don't solve math with theory. Math is practical. When it has to do with other subjects, we know that you can blah blah blah. What is science? Blah 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 blah. But math, no one is going to ask you what is math. They are asking you to solve it. So you have to tell us that is what is going on. But I think we should pay attention to what Domelevo said. He said before we can recover that money and then arrest those thieves who call themselves politicians, then there needs to be a reform or a review of our laws. And he's true. What he's saying is true. Because some of the laws needs to be reviewed. If you take a look at our judiciary system, if a case is presented to court, it can take like 10 years. So I wouldn't even go far. Let's take this issue for example. This military man who was brutally killed by his own friend.
Oh, okay.
Up to now, that case is still in court.
Mm-hmm. They said they want to find the DNA test, the blood.
Where?
The ones they
It's
found
still in court.
Is it an immigration?
Yes.
I heard military.
Is it a military one or immigration? Oh, okay.
I think you mentioned military, so I was a bit confused.
Oh, okay. So that issue is still in court, and that is not the first time an issue is being presented to court and it gets delayed. When we take the MPP for instance, this MPP people, they are heja like that, but when they come to power, they try arresting people. They arrested this man, this lawyer of the NDC. Oh, Chachuchi Kata.
Yeah.
They arrested him because they find some hitches with his office and what he did. So it should tell you that in a way, they are like that, but when they come, they try.
Jail.
He was jailed. He was jailed. When they come, they arrest people. So what is wrong with the NDC? NDC always appears so holy, Mamaji, and that is not helping. You see, recently there was an interview with taxi drivers, and they were complaining that this is what you promised us. Deliver. You just deliver. If not, just arrest only one person. This NSS case is still in court. Edu Boahin's case is still in court. Today you hear they've granted her bail. The next minute an issue has popped up, and then she's in court. They will grant her bail. The case will be looked in. Another issue will pop up, and then she's still in court, which means that no one will be arrested. Kind of a reactor is still out of the country. The person who was even the deputy finance minister is now on the public accounts committee questioning people. No one has questioned her. Where is our money?
Right. It's only in Ghana that when you commit a crime, the court will tell you to go and bring evidence that indeed you committed a crime. Thank you so much for joining us on the news review. Up next, we have Global Observances with Miss Regina Bless.
Bringing you some global observances of the day. World Day for Cultural Diversity for Dialogue and Development. To honor the richness of global cultures and to highlight how intercultural dialogue drives peace and sustainable development. It aims to combat stereotypes and promote mutual understanding. National Waiters and Waitresses Day celebrates the hard work and dedication of food and beverage service, also known as Wait Staff Day. The occasion encourages patrons and restaurant owners to show appreciation through better tipping, personal compliments, and acts of kindness. We also have Global Accessibility Awareness Day. It is dedicated to getting everyone talking, thinking, and learning about digital access and inclusion for the over 1 billion people worldwide who live with disabilities or impairments. National Notebook Day. This was created in 2016 by the stationery company May Designs. The holiday encourages people to put pen to paper, unplug from digital devices, and embrace the tactile joy of handwriting and journaling. I need a patch for that day. It is a tongue-in-cheek observance, encouraging people to playfully wish for patches to fix life's everyday inconveniences, like a bad hair day or a runny nose. Lastly, International Tea Day, to honor the cultural heritage, health benefits, and profound economic importance of tea. The day raises awareness about the millions of smallholder farmers who rely on the tea sector while promoting sustainable production and fair trade practices worldwide. And that's all for today on Some Global Observances live on GhanaTalks Breakfast Show.
Thank you so much, Miss Regina Bless, for the Global Observances. Up next, we have Debbie's Grill.
Welcome to Debbie's Grill, where we talk about issues that matter to the state, void of politics, fear, or favor. Policy think tank Integrated Social Development Center has suggested stronger action against illicit financial flows warning that Ghana must prioritize plugging revenue leakages before deepening reliance on external economic oversight programs. The call follows Ghana's transition from the IMF-supported Extended Credit Facility Program into a new policy coordination instrument arrangement with the International Monetary Fund. Addressing a press conference in Accra, ISODEC argued that Ghana's fiscal challenges are being driven not only by budget deficit and debt pressures, but also by large-scale capital outflows linked to trade misinvoicing, corporate tax avoidance, and weakness within the extractive sector. According to the group, Ghana lost an estimated $32.6 billion through illicit financial flows between 2013 and 2023. An amount is said far exceed the financing typically received under IMF-supported program. Ghana's cumulative IFF losses for the period 2013 and 2023 are estimated $32.6 billion, money that left Ghana's economy through trade misinvoicing, corporate tax abuse, and the structural mechanism of unequal exchange. To put this in perspective, this figure dwarfs the financing that an IMF program will provide, ISODEC noted. ISODEC maintains that recovering lost revenues and strengthening domestic resource mobilization should become a central pillar of Ghana's economic strategy rather than continued dependence on external policy monitoring. The think tank also warned that excessive focus on IMF-style oversight framework risks diverting attention from critical domestic reforms needed to improve customs enforcement, strengthen tax auditing of multinational firms, and address loopholes within extractive sector contracts. According to ISODEC, tackling illicit financial flows could have more immediate lasting impact on Ghana's fiscal stability than external credibility programs. The group further stressed that Ghana's long-term economic resilience will depend not only on reducing borrowing but also improving the country's ability to retain and manage wealth generated from its own natural resources and economic activities. Not long ago, Ghana has declared our exit from IMF, and after that there's been a new policy that has been on board, and that is the policy coordination instrument. And this is still a collabo between Ghana and the IMF. And this time around, it's not about going in to borrow money, but IMF will have to advise us on how to go about the handling of the economy, how we receive money, how to put the right things in place, so that we don't find ourselves wanting and then running back to IMF for help. So after this was made public, the policy think tank Integrated Social Development Center has also suggested that we take stronger actions against illicit financial laws in the country. Now they are saying that we need to pay more attention to how we ought to manage our own natural resources, how we need to block all those loopholes that ends us up in debt. So let's take our country, our beautiful country, Ghana. We have gold, we have bauxite, we have diamond, we have salt, we have everything, we have oil. We have everything that a country needs to have in order to enrich yourself without being a slave to another country. So why then do we go to other countries for help? They are saying that in as much as we are taking advice from these people on how to put things in place, it's also needed and very, very significant that we know how to manage our resources in this country. We know the amount of money that leaves the coffers. And then we know how much is retained. We ensure that monies that are being allocated to projects are being used for its intended purpose. And we must also ensure that people who embezzle from the state, those monies are being retrieved. And that is what can help us as a country. Because when we go for this advice and then we refuse to do the needful, it's just like you pouring water on a stone. You know you cannot retrieve those water back. It's just a waste of time and energy. So which automatically means that we might go in for this advice, but if the right thing is not being done, it's just like we're wasting our time. And you see, the fact is, we know the truth. We are just avoiding it. It's just like yourself. You truly know who you are. Your mom does not even know you much more than you know yourself. There are things you do your parents are not aware. It is you and you alone. So in as much as they have that upper hand on you because they brought you to this world, they're not even given that opportunity to know more about what you do. You only tell them what they ought to know about you. So you know yourself better. You know what to do to improve. So if you are refusing to do it, automatically it's like you're just avoiding to accept the fact that this is something I'm not doing right, and these are the solutions to it, but I just don't want to do it with the reasons better known to you. So when you come to Ghana, it's not as if we don't know what is going on. No. We can do better. We can do better if our resources are managed properly. We can do better if the right people are appointed to occupy state properties, state institutions. We can do better if money that are being embezzled from state officials are being retrieved. We can do better. But when we don't put these things in order and then we go in for the advice, mind you, they are looking at the outward, what they see is what they'll advise you on. But we know ourselves, we know what we are doing in the dark. We can still go in for this advice. But if we still have people who are looting from the state, how are we going to keep up with this goal of stabilizing the economy, with this goal of becoming financially dependent? Without we being without becoming financially independent, right? Without we being dependent on any other country for help. But when we shy away from shall I say our wrongs, when we shy away from the truth and pretend as if we don't see it, and then we go in for an advice, the advice is good. We can even implement those advice. But don't forget that we still have cockroaches in the cupboard who end up eating those foods. Don't forget that you are in a room with a mouse who end up chewing everything they see in that room. So to fight that, you need to get a spray. You need to get a medicine that can kill that cockroach once and for all. And so you are dealing with the issue from the roots and not from the branches. So this is a good, this is just good. A good suggestion that we need to take. For me, personally, I'm so happy that we've exited from IMF because I know we can do it. If you set your mind to do something, you will do it. Let's forget about those hypocrites. We can do it, but we can only do it if some people are being held accountable. We can only do it if those monies are being retrieved. We can do it if those loopholes are being sealed. But we will only deceive ourselves and then pretend as if we are working, but we know behind the scene we still have those termites that are eating the woods. And that is what we want to prevent. If you don't want heart attack or BP, don't listen to this public accounts committee sort of thing. Because you end up dying before your time. And so these are some of the things. They are being brought before a committee. Why this money, instead of using that money, why do you use this? And the aim of that is to retrieve those money. I don't know whether the monies are being retrieved, that I can't tell. But the main purpose of that is to retrieve those monies. So if those monies are being retrieved, mind you, just have it in mind, or just imagine the number of people who have been picked up that have been embezzled from the state. Imagine all those monies are retrieved, like truly retrieved, not only on paper, but they've retrieved those monies. Those money can be pushed into other developmental projects, and it's going to help you, it's going to help me. Mind you, the money is not for the government. It is my money, it is your money, it's the taxpayers' money. And so if the money is being used for the right thing, it will benefit me to benefit you. But if the money is not being used for the right thing, we are all going to suffer. We seriously applaud this government from exiting from IMF, and we are so grateful to them, because what we thought cannot be possible, they've made it possible, and that is a plus. But we are just hoping that in as much as they are going in for this advice, we will also take a look at our country, what we are not doing right, and how best we can improve on it. Why do people always loot from the state? That is what we should ask ourselves. And how best can we stop it? How can we retrieve this money? How can we prevent this thing from occurring? Then when we do that, we know that we are on course. We are making progress. But when we go for this advice and we still have this termites, we still have these cockroaches, we still have this mouse in a room, in the same room, where you have other valuable goods, then be rest assured that we are getting nowhere. So I think this is a good, beautiful suggestion that needs to be taken on. Minister of Finance, over to you. Thank you for making time with me on Debbie's Girl.
Thank you so much, Miss Debbie, for that, girl. And thank you, too, for joining us on the first segment of the GhanaTalks Breakfast Show. We'll be going for the news shortly.
Are you ready to amplify your business or brand's reach and make a meaningful impact in Ghana and beyond? Partner with GhanaTalks Radio today to connect with a diverse audience across Ghana and beyond. Elevate your brand through on-air promotions and social media. Boost your brand during prime time. With GhanaTalks Radio, you can extend your reach across digital platforms. GhanaTalks Radio is not just a station, it is a community hub where your brand becomes part of the conversation. Join us in fostering connections, celebrating culture, and making a lasting impression. For customized sponsorship packages and enquiries, email contact@GhanaTalksRadio.com or call +233 202 544614. GhanaTalks Radio, giving the youth a voice.
We bring you local news, business news, international, sports, and entertainment news. Right here on GTR.
Hello, good morning, and welcome to the morning news update on GhanaTalks Radio. Coming up this morning, we start with Amnesty International's latest report showing global executions have risen to their highest level since 1981, with the group pointing to failures in judicial processes. Here at home, Attorney General condemns the New Patriotic Party comment on state of governance as reckless. In transport, government says it will procure 2 locomotive engines and 2 wagons from the United Kingdom to boost both passenger and cargo railway services. A policy analyst has also raised concerns over judicial independence, cautioning that rising personal attacks on judges threaten public confidence in the court. Meanwhile, the Accra Metropolitan Assembly is denying claims it failed to consult traders at the 31st December market over the Mokola market redevelopment. And also on business front, policy think tank Integrated Social Development Center is calling for stronger action under the IMF Policy Coordination Instruments Program, urging a crackdown on the estimated $32.6 billion lost annually to illicit financial flows in the country. These and many other stories coming up your way shortly. To our first story, Amnesty International has raised alarm over a sharp rise in global executions, with its death penalty report 2025 recording the highest number of state-sanctioned killings in over 4 decades. The report stated that 2,707 executions were carried out worldwide last year, marking the highest figure since 1981. Iran accounted for the overwhelming majority with 2,159 executions, nearly 80% of the global total. According to Amnesty, the surge reflects dangerous resurgence of the death penalty in several countries, fueled by weak judicial systems and the lack of accountability. The organization cautioned that the trend undermines international human rights standards and erodes public trust in justice systems. Speaking on the findings, Acting Director of Amnesty International Ghana, Hannah Osei, said the data should serve as a warning. Amnesty International has renewed its call for global moratorium on executions and urged government to move towards full abolition of capital punishment. The group also highlighted concerns over due process violations, political use of death penalty, and execution of individuals convicted after unfair trials.
Amnesty International recorded at least 2,707 executions globally, the highest number documented since 1981. These figures, though alarming, still represent only the minimum confirmed total. The true number is likely far higher, as several states continue to shroud their use of the death penalty in secrecy, painting a deeply troubling picture. The report reveals a dangerous resurgence in the use of executions as a political and punitive tool. In several countries, authorities have increasingly relied on the death penalty to project power and silence dissent. Instead of strengthening justice systems through accountability, fairness, and human rights protection, some governments are turning to executions as symbols of authority and control. Iran alone accounted for at least 2,159 executions in 2025, nearly 80% of all recorded executions worldwide. Many of these executions followed grossly unfair trials, including cases linked to the Women Life Freedom protest. Amnesty International documented the use of torture-tainted confessions, secret proceedings, and politically motivated prosecutions. Saudi Arabia also recorded its highest number of executions ever documented by Amnesty International, with at least 356 people executed, many for drug-related offenses and broadly defined terrorism charges. In the United States, executions rose to their highest level since 2009, driven largely by a sharp increase in executions in the state of Florida. Across sub-Saharan Africa, Amnesty International recorded executions in only 2 countries, Somalia and South Sudan. This means that most African states
The Attorney General and Minister for Justice, Dr. Dominic Ayinin, has dismissed threats by the New Patriotic Party to make Ghana ungovernable over claims of political intimidation. He made such remarks should be treated with the contempt they deserve. Speaking on the issue, Dr. Ayinin said the government will not be distracted by statements he described as inflammatory, aimed at creating unnecessary tension. He stressed that the administration remains focused on upholding the rule of law and ensuring accountability. The New Patriotic Party had earlier accused the government of intimidating its officials and cautioned of widespread resistance if the alleged actions continued. The exchange marks the latest flashpoint between the government and the opposition over the conduct of ongoing investigations and prosecutions linked to the oral initiative.
Well, as for the threat of arming themselves and making the country ungovernable, I think I will, treat it with the contempt it deserves. Okay, but as far as this government is concerned, I want to reiterate that we will respect the rights and freedoms of every Ghanaian.
The Ministry of Transport has announced plans to procure 2 locomotive engines and 2 wagons from the United Kingdom to expand and improve Ghana's railway operations. According to the ministry, the new engines will be deployed for passenger services, while the wagons will be used to support cargo transport. The move forms part of ongoing effort to revamp the country's rail network and increase its capacity to move both people and goods more efficiently. Transport Minister Joseph Bukari-Nikwi said the investment is expected to enhance service delivery and create additional employment opportunities at the Ghana Railway Company Limited. He noted that strengthening the rail sector is key to reducing pressure on the road network and lowering transport costs in the long term. The procurement follows recent government action to clear salary arrears owed to railway workers, signaling a renewed push to restore operations and morale within the sector.
As I am speaking, the Chief Executive of the Railway Development Authority and the Director of Rail Services in my ministry are in UK currently looking or inspecting the passenger rails that we want to bring into the system. We are bringing 2 locomotive engines and 2 wagons to be able to render or haul heavy metals like Ghana manganese and any other cargo that we have in the rail sector. When we are able to bring these 2 trains on board, we are going to employ more of the railway workers that currently are seated at home and being paid for doing nothing. So if you ask me whether the Railway Development Authority wants to take over the management of the rail system, you see, they own the property and they are responsible to restore the property. At this stage, they can't give it to somebody when you have looked for money to restore the thing. You have to work with the fellow to a point where you can win yourself off or win the fellow off your operations. So for now, we are only ensuring that the Railway Development Authority will continue to monitor the improvement of the rail sector for now.
Engineer and policy analyst Michael Kusidede has cautioned that Ghana's judiciary remains the most vulnerable arm of government and must be protected from personal attacks. Speaking during an interview, he said, while criticism of court decisions is part of a healthy democracy, inflammatory and disrespectful remarks directed at judges pose a serious threat. He cautioned that such comments risk eroding public confidence in the court and could encourage a culture of lawlessness. His comments comes amid ongoing public debate over judicial conduct and political commentary on court processes.
We have all accepted that the judiciary is one of the weakest arms of the 3 arms of government. Weak in the sense that it has been the one that has been most abused by previous governments. Coup d'etats, judges have been murdered, issues like that. So in trying to build a system where there are equal checks and balances, we need to be mindful how we treat the judiciary. We may not be happy with the rulings they give, yes, but the law also says that you can critique the ruling, but you don't go making personal attack and making inflammatory comments where people then take it as personal and therefore they may think that it is their responsibility to go and seek redress by directly attacking a judge or a person. So I think that we need to be mindful in the way we speak in all of this matter. So I think that Afenyo Makin being a leader in this country is not just any ordinary person. Being a leader must demonstrate through example how he leads his people and how he speaks on matters like that. He himself is also a lawyer. And I hear the Ghana Bar Association saying that it's a breach of ethics. And that for me is strong. You see, we as professionals in this country need to follow ethics because that is what guides the problem. It is the unwritten law about how we conduct ourselves. So when we simply go out there and speak anyhow and authoritatively say that we will do it again, we will disrespect the person. I mean, that is not language you should be putting out there in public, because then there are students, there are people learning, and they are saying, is that the kind of society we want to build?
There are others.
Is that the way we should speak about things like that? So for me, I think that I tend to align with the judgment, and I think that based on the fact that the judge also cited law, and he also cited previous conduct, I think that he's in his right place.
The Accra Metropolitan Assembly has rejected claims that it fails to consult traders at the 31st December market regarding the ongoing impasse surrounding the Makola market redevelopment. In a statement, the Assembly said engagement with affected traders has been part of the process and that concerns raised are being addressed through ongoing discussions. It described reports suggesting a lack of consultation as inaccurate and misleading. The Accra Metropolitan Assembly maintained that the redevelopment plan is aimed at improving trading conditions, safety and infrastructure within the central business district. Traders at the 31st December market had earlier raised concerns over communication gaps and the impact of redevelopment on their businesses, prompting the Assembly's clarification.
Ongoing projects does not constitute a forceful eviction. Rather, it forms part of a carefully planned redevelopment initiative aimed at transforming an existing one-story building into a four-story modern facility to create additional trading space for traders, particularly those currently operating along the roadside, pavements, and other unauthorized areas within the central business districts. Contrary to claims that the traders were not engaged, we as an assembly wishes to place on record that the redevelopment process was preceded by extensive stakeholder engagement, consultation, and notice involving traders, shop owners, market leaders, and other affected persons. Several meetings were held with the affected traders, their representatives in 2025 to discuss the objective, scope, timelines, and expected benefits of the redevelopment projects. Constituted by the assembly members of all electoral areas, approved the decision to redevelop some structures of existing markets to create space for petty traders who could not afford high capital requirements for shops. One of the first projects identified was the redevelopment of the one-story material store located near the Ghana Fire Service metro station into a four-story facility. The assembly wishes to state that the assembly has continued to be in good faith and remain committed to protecting the interests of genuine traders, shop owners, and affected persons through the redevelopment process. The Assembly assures affected traders, existing shop owners, that they will be duly considered and allocated spaces within the new markets upon completion of the redevelopment projects in accordance with the established allocation procedure and the Assembly redevelopment framework. Furthermore, provisions have been made to ensure that recognized shop owners and legitimate allottees are given priority consideration during the allocation process. As part of effort to ensure transparency and proper documentation, the Assembly compiled a verified album of 306 traders occupying the affected areas, including traders operating around the peripherals of the project zone. The exercise was undertaken to guide further reallocation, future reallocation, engagement, and allocation re-engagements.
Relocation way. Now, maybe I say the same people no more can say AMA I engage you omo no. Eba ne say na omo tumi engage AMA say omo sere AMA. Omo person omo to ade December ansa na dey. Ye relocate you omo. This one attests to the fact say AMA I engage you omo. And one of the misconceptions are air course to say AMA I engage you omo. Ye engage you omo. In the course of I engage you omo na omo the AMA echo court. Omo the AMA echo court no eto asem no den atwene ye. Court no to assembly twene e also twene be omo biom and na mayor atwene extension of deadline no mu biom e de ye den e de mo omo se si am no ka se assembly ko eba by person yan kan kire mo se ye no mu kasa se si ano omo stro ba ko nso ne se am engage omo yi but anopo ya person yan kan kire mo se document here kite yi e kire se as at now no obia oton ade e market ni mu ene around market ni nyina e me capture mu na yes yakodi data keke ya di data ye de omo pictures ayede aka ho. This is the document that attests to the facts here. See a market now. Omo document we mu no. Omo na be consider omo first and say na consider obi a obese oyede onya market we be.
In business, policy think tank Integrated Social Development Center has suggested stronger action against illicit financial flows, warning that Ghana must prioritize plugging revenue leakages before deepening reliance on external economic oversight. The call follows Ghana's transition from IMF-supported extended credit facility program into a new policy coordination instrument arrangement with the International Monetary Fund. Addressing a press conference in Accra, policy think tank Integrated Social Development Center argued that Ghana's fiscal challenges are being driven not only by budget deficits and debt pressures, but also by large-scale capital outflows linked to trade misinvoicing, corporate tax avoidance, and weakness within the extractive sector. According to the group, Ghana lost an estimated $32.6 billion through illicit financial flows between 2013 and 2023. An amount it says far exceeds the financing typically received under IMF-supported programs. Policy think tank Integrated Social Development Center maintains that recovery lost revenues and strengthening domestic resource mobilization should become a central pillar of Ghana's economic strategy rather than continued dependence on external policy monitoring arrangement. The think tank also cautioned that excessive focus on IMF-style oversight frameworks risk diverting attention from critical domestic reforms needed to improve customs enforcement, strengthen tax auditing of multinational firms, and address loopholes within extractive sector contracts. According to them, tackling illicit financial flows could have more immediate and lasting impact on Ghana's fiscal stability than external credibility programs. The group further stressed that Ghana's long-term economic resilience would depend not only on reducing borrowing, but also on improving the country's ability to retain and manage wealth generated from its own natural resources and economic activities. To sports, Arsenal Football Club have finally ended their 22-year wait for a Premier League title, sealing the 2025 crown with a game spare under manager Mikel Arteta. It was a season built on control rather than flair. Arsenal's success came through a disciplined defensive structure and efficient finishing. They have scored 69 goals and conceded 26 goals in 37 matches, numbers that underline their dominance at both ends of the pitch. That tally could change after their final away match against Crystal Palace at the Selhurst Park on Sunday, May 24th. Regardless of their final game, the title is already secured, marking a defining achievement for Arteta's side. This defensive dominance has naturally invited comparisons to Leicester City's unforgettable 2015 to 2016 title-winning season. Taking a look at the Premier League champions' goals scored from 2010 to 2011 season to 2025 and 2026 season, all season except 2025 and 2026 consisted of 38 matches. Starting with 2010 to 2011, Manchester United scored 78 goals at 2.05 per game, solid but not spectacular. 2011 to 2012, Manchester City exploded with 93 goals at 2.45 per game, their first title of the modern era. 2012 to 2013 saw Alex Ferguson's final title with Manchester United 86 goals at 2.26 per game. 2013 to 2014, Manchester City went on a record-breaking run with 102 goals at 2.68 per game. 2014 to 2015, Chelsea under Jose Mourinho won it with a more pragmatic 73 goals at 1.92 per game. Then came 2015 and 2016. Leicester City shocked the world, winning the title with just 68 goals, that 1.79 per game, still the lowest in the modern era. And finally, 2025-2026, Arsenal has won the title with 69 goals in 37 matches, roughly 1.87 goals per game. Leicester's 68 goals in 2015 remained the clear benchmark for the lowest scoring title winning in this 16-season span. Arsenal's 69 goals make them the second lowest, narrowly ahead of Leicester, but well below 85-plus totals that have become common in recent years. Both title wins shared a similar philosophical foundation: elite defensive structure paired with efficient, opportunistic attacking play. Leicester 2015-2016, Jamie Vardy's 24 goals powered a counter-attacking machine that relied heavily on transitions, set piece and clinical finishing while conceding 36 goals. Arsenal recorded 19 clean sheets, which earned David Raya a third consecutive Golden Glove. Their 33-plus goal difference was achieved more through defensive stinginess than all-out attack. Arsenal's per-game scoring rate of approximately 1.86 goals was only marginally higher than Leicester 1.79. The Premier League has become a higher scoring competition over the past decade and a half. Manchester City's dominance under Pep Guardiola's dramatically raised the bar with multiple seasons featuring 95 to 106 goals. Liverpool 2019 to 2020 and 2024 and 2025 triumph only relied on high intensity, high output football. In this contest, Arsenal's 2025-2026 campaign stands out as a refreshing reminder that balance and defensive excellence remains viable route to glory. The success mirrors early titles wins by Chelsea 2014 and 2015 and Leicester 2015 and 2016, showing that tactical discipline and squad cohesion can overcome more lavishly funded attacking machines when it matters most. In an era dominated by goal-laden spectacles and record-breaking attacks, Arsenal proved that a well-drilled, defensively resolute team can still conquer English football's highest peak. For the Arsenal faithful, this title represents validation after years of near misses and painful rebuilds. For football purists, it reaffirms that championships are won on the training ground through structure and resilience. As the Premier League continues to evolve, Arsenal's 2025 and 2026 campaign will be remembered as a masterclass in molding defensive football and a worthy successor in spirit to Leicester miracle story. In showbiz, Kumawood star Mr. Beautiful attribute the failure of his marriage to introducing a friend to his wife. Speaking on Emilia Brobe's talk show, the actor said the friendship that followed the introduction eventually created challenges that led to the breakdown of his marriage. He claimed the friend, whom he described as a Christian, planted false ideas and misunderstandings between himself and his wife. Mr. Beautiful added that the experience has made him more cautious around Christians, trusting Muslims more. According to him, they speak daily on the phone, shared jokes, and had spoken twice on the morning of the interview. He, however, ruled out any possibility of reconciling. On Global Update, Nigeria's anti-corruption agency says it has arrested former Power Minister Salimam a week after he was sentenced to 75 years in jail on corruption charges. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission said Maman was arrested in early hours of Tuesday in the northern Kaduna state after weeks of surveillance and intelligence gathering. In a statement, the agency said the former minister, Salim Maman, had gone into hiding after being convicted by a court in the capital, Abuja, earlier this month. Maman was found guilty on 12 counts related to the diversion of funds meant for two hydroelectric power projects. The court ruled that prosecutors had proved their case beyond reasonable doubt. He was sentenced in absentia after failing to appear in court. His arrest on Tuesday marks a real follow-through in the fight against high-level corruption, with convictions of top officials uncommon in the West African nation. The Economic and Financial Crime Commission chair said the authorities were determined to ensure the former minister served his sentence. The judge who wrote on his case said during the trial that the EFCC had shown the Maman and his associates diverted at least 22 billion naira intended for critical electricity project. The judge described the diversion of public funds as a gross abuse of public trust and said proxy companies and associates were used to siphon money from the project. The former minister was sentenced to multiple prison terms across the charges, which are yet to run consecutively, making it a total of 75 years. He also faces a separate corruption trial in Abuja over allegations of fraud involving 31 billion naira. Earlier this month, another judge issued a warrant for his arrest after he failed to appear in court in that case. Maman served as Nigeria's power minister between 2019 and 2021 under the former president Muhammadu Buhari. His conviction has sparked outrage over Nigeria's lingering electricity challenges, especially as he had promised to improve power supply while in office. Despite being one of Africa's biggest energy producers, Nigeria will face frequent blackout and power cuts which affect homes and businesses. And that's all for the morning news roundup. Stay with us for more updates throughout the day. I am Deborah Adoso. Good morning.
Are you ready to amplify your business or brand's reach and make a meaningful impact in Ghana and beyond? Partner with GhanaTalks Radio today to connect with a diverse audience across Ghana and beyond. Elevate your brand through on-air promotions and social media. Boost your brand during prime time. With GhanaTalks Radio, you can extend your reach across digital platforms. GhanaTalks Radio is not just a station, it is a community hub where your brand becomes part of the conversation. Join us in fostering connections, celebrating culture, and making a lasting impression. For customized sponsorship packages and enquiries, email contact@GhanaTalksRadio.com or call +233 202 544614. GhanaTalks Radio, giving the youth a voice.
What do you want for breakfast? How do you want your breakfast?
English breakfast. French fries.
Koko Nikosi, alo komi kesheto.
Wache.
Well, Gobe is the real deal.
Join us on GhanaTalks Radio. Let's serve you a buffet of breakfast.
From news headlines review, current affairs to social issues.
Entertainment, sports, and all the trending stories live on our mobile app and across all socials from Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m.
With me, Pakwesi Omare,
Regina Bless,
Deborah Adoso,
and I am Esinal Fiagbedu. This is GhanaTalks Breakfast Show. This is GhanaTalks Breakfast Show, your morning companion. This is GhanaTalks Breakfast Show, your morning companion.
GhanaTalks Radio, #1.
morning to you once again, and you are welcome to the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show right here on Ghana Talks Radio. You're welcome to the second segment of the morning show. Remember that you're streaming live on Facebook at Ghana Talks Radio, on YouTube at Ghana Talks Radio, and also on X at Ghana Talks Radio. All you need to do is just log on, send in your comments. Let's get interactive right here on the morning show. I am your host, Ruth Esenam Fiagbedu. Sitting in the studios right here with me this morning is our regular Thursday guest. He was here yesterday. He said he wasn't satisfied, so he wants to come back today as well and feed us as well. You know who I'm talking about, Mr. Ganip Dubik Stephen. Good morning to you, Mr. Dubik. How are you doing?
Good morning. I'm good, and you?
I'm fine. You're looking good.
Thank you. Yesterday I was satisfied. It's you who didn't have enough of me, so you wanted me to come again.
Hey, this thing that you're saying, I hope they will not come and meet me.
You didn't get enough of me, so you.
I hope nobody will come and meet me.
You
say put it in a well contest so that nobody will come for me. Please,
you didn't get enough of me, so you asked me to.
No.
That's the
say
only
it
contest
well.
I know.
No,
That's the only contest I can put it.
Please say it well.
You didn't get enough of me.
Before I'll be there, my mother will be like, "Mommy, we should show." Be like, "Mwana, no."
You didn't get enough of me, so you asked me to come again.
Okay, so you're actually supposed to be here this morning.
Yes, I'm always here on Thursdays.
Yes.
Sometimes, not always. Sometimes I take a leave to go and rest. Talking is not easy.
It's not easy.
Talking is not easy.
But that was what you chose.
I didn't choose this.
And then what happened?
Me, what I chose, if I tell you, ran out of the studio.
Okay, that's fine. Let's not go there.
I wanted to be a gynecologist.
You?
Yes.
That's a lie.
It's the truth.
You don't even like science.
I have always wanted to be a gynecologist.
So what happened?
I don't know.
Oh, tell us what happened. Today you just see, so you have time for you.
I'm sure that maybe I didn't get the required grades to go into the medical school and become a gynecologist. So.
Oh, okay, but I'm very sure that one of your children will maybe go into that.
I don't think so.
Why?
I think that tech is the new deal, and for me.
So you are going to.
For me, there's no way I'm going to say my kids has the right to choose what they want to do.
I think they have the right.
No. Once I'm paying the school fees, I'll choose what you're going to do.
But I don't know what I didn't say.
And 2 per minute, we are not quite that bridge.
Oh, that's not the big.
I'm being
honest. I think
you
you're being
see,
fair to your kids.
You see, I'm going to be fair to them. If some of us our parents were not educated, so guiding us through choices. When it comes to education, we had to rely on our own intuition. If we had educated parents to guide us, do this at this time, don't do this at this time, do this course, this is the trending things now, this is what is likely to get you into the bigger corporations and all that. If we had that guidance, we wouldn't be where we are today. Maybe we'd have been MDs of Access Bank, UT, and the big corporations in this country. But see, now we are now climbing, fighting with the people who are already up there. So,
I think you should allow people to do what they love.
No, it's not always about what you love. It's about what can sustain you. Sometimes you want to do what you love, but what you love cannot sustain you.
Anyways.
You get it? For instance, if you want to be a musician, and I know you don't have the talent for it, I know music cannot sustain you. If you want to be a dancer, but you don't know how to dance, you are passionate about dancing, but you don't know how to dance, how does that dance that will allow you to do sustain you? It cannot sustain you. So in the long run, I will allow you to do whatever you want, but you end up not being successful in it. So I have to guide you, make a choice for you, so that at the end of the day, when I'm no more, or when I'm not in a position to give you what you want or your needs, you can be able to fend for yourself.
Okay, that was just by the way. That was for Mr. DeVee, as he has said. Maybe your passion cannot sustain you. Maybe your talent will not be able to sustain you. So, in a nutshell, what he's saying is that look at what is trending and go into it. Anyways, that was just that. Right. So, before we dive into the issue, you know how we do it, just by the ways. We look at some trending issues before we go into the topical issue or the topic that has been laid down to to be spoken about this morning. And yesterday, from the Peace Council, the National Peace Council, they are urging calm over rising political tension. They actually released, they brought out a statement. Let me read that before I'll come to you, Mr. Dubik. For immediate release, NPC calls for calm amid rising political tensions. And this was released yesterday, 20th May 2026, Accra. The National Peace Council is deeply concerned about the rising political tensions following recent arrests of some political actors based on comments they allegedly made that purportedly flout on the laws of the country. As the statutory board mandated under at 818 to prevent, manage and resolve conflict, we call for calm and restraint from all sides. The National Peace Council reminds all Ghanaians that the rule of law, due process and respect for constitutional rights as enshrined in the 1992 Constitution of the Republic of Ghana are non-negotiable pillars of our democracy and calls for moderation, circumspection and tolerance by actors in the media and public places. It is in this vein that we call on our respected security and judicial institutions to act with impartiality, transparency and professionalism and ensure that the rights and freedoms of citizens are always upheld in the performance of their lawful duties. The National Peace Council similarly calls on political parties, their communicators and actors to refrain from making unsubstantiated, inflammatory statements and actions that has the potential to incite violence in the country. The National Peace Councils equally remind political communicators and commentators, both home and abroad, to be mindful of their utterances and their impact on national cohesion and stability. The MPC reiterates the fact that Ghana's stability depends on our ability to disagree in our public discourse without resorting to abusive language or violence. We entreat the citizenry to act with responsibility and civility in accordance with the law. The Council, as part of its quarterly trust-building platform with political parties, will hold a meeting in the next 5 days to dialogue with the leadership of the parties to find lasting solutions to this development to prevent escalation of the situation. So this is from the National Peace Council, and they are calling for calmness among the two political parties. I believe you are aware of what is happening with the issue of Abronye and also the arrest of some communicators of the NPP. Mr. Dubik.
Yes, I think the Peace Council has done their job.
They have done their job.
Yes, by releasing a statement and then admonishing calm. I think that the next step that they have to do is to meet the political actors, the political parties, which I think they've stated in their letter.
Both parties?
Yes, both parties. They should meet both parties and then find a way to resolve these issues and make them understand that the law that governs the country is supreme, not based on any emotions or what you feel you are entitled to. If the law doesn't give you entitlement, you are entitled to nothing. It is the law that will give you right. It is the law that is also allowed to take away those rights. The law can give you freedom of speech today, but that same law can ask you not to talk. That same law can ask you not to speak about certain things. That is why sometimes you can go, when you defame somebody, the person goes to court and you are injuncted from talking about the person. Can you say they are curtailing your freedom of speech? Abi, you have the right to speak.
Of course.
You can talk about anything. But when you defame me and I take you to court, the court can tell you that henceforth, don't talk about this person again. Are you going to come out and tell me that your freedom of speech has been curtailed? So the law that gives you the freedom to do something, that same law can be used to take away the freedom to do something. So the freedom of speech or right is not just sacrosanct, it is relative. You know, it can be taken away at any point in time when they feel that that right that you have is being abused. So me, this whole freedom of speech thing, freedom of speech is abused and all that. I think that there are limitations to it. And then if you don't want to be arrested or prosecuted for publication of false news, make sure that whatever you're publishing is right. So I think that the Peace Council has done the right thing, but I think it took a longer period. They should have done it earlier.
I wanted to ask, where have they been all this while?
They should have done it earlier. Maybe if they had done it earlier, met with the political parties earlier, we wouldn't have gotten to where we are today. To the extent that people are saying that they will organize boys to destabilize the country and all that. That statement itself is.
And what is the AGA expected to do pertaining the speech here?
He should have been arrested,
because
this is even more dangerous than what Abronye said. What Salah Mustafa said.
Is it closer to coup?
I can't say that, but yes, to some extent. If you are to be too what do you call it, excessive, you can say it is tantamount to coup. It is closer to saying I want to organize a coup d'etat, because destabilizing the country would itself, in essence, overthrow the government, maybe overthrow the constitution and all that. So you can say that, but let's just limit it within the scope that he said it. Rioting is a crime. What he said was to organize boys, weaponize them to riot. And rioting is a crime. To demonstrate, you need a permit. You need to go. You see, that is where the problem is. That's where the issue. We say we have freedom of speech. We have freedom of demonstration. Freedom of speech is another form of demonstration. Demonstration falls within the freedom of speech. You have the right to air your views in whichever manner the law permits. You get it? But even that, you have to go to the police and take permit for you to be able to organize your demonstration. So if you sit down in your office and you just want to throw issues in the air, I think it is wrong. What Salah Mustafa said is dangerous, and they should have even exchanged Abronye with him.
Really?
Yes.
At that point?
Yes. What did Abronye say? Abronye insulted the judge.
Yeah.
Disrespected the court, an institution. This guy is threatening the entire country.
Yeah.
This guy has threatened the entire country, which I think that it is. Well, I don't want to go the yesterday way, where I let out some strong words.
No.
Today today I want to address the issue devoid of emotions or anger. You see, it is a problem when political actors start to think like the way Salah Mustafa thinks.
How is he thinking?
He thinks that let's formulate chaos to show that we are men.
Of which he thinks that is the best
solution. The best solution, which is, in my estimation, a very senseless or nonsensical, I'm thinking. Because there are procedures. If the law doesn't go your way today, you are allowed to appeal. That's why at every stages of the law, it's either one judge or two judges are added. So for instance, when you go to the high court, there's one judge that sits on your case. If that same goes to appeals court, how many 3 judges sit on your case? You get it? Whether we like it or not, we have Muslims, we have Christians, we have traditionalists, we have atheists who will sit on this case. All these factors will impact on how they judge on your issue. You get it?
Yeah.
Their background, the background of the judge will impact on how the judgment is written or the reasoning behind the judgment. So that's why that if that is the reason why when we go to the high court or the magistrate court or the circuit court, it's one person. But when the issue graduates to what do you call it, the appeals court, we have 3 people. We believe that there are going to be diverse backgrounds, diverse opinions, so that they can all like the backgrounds will be factored into the judgment. When you go to the appeal court, what do you call it, the Supreme Court, it is 7, 9, 11, 13. Yes. So we have all these tools available to us. So instead of wishing the country doom just to get your position across, why can't we use all these processes? And some people say, when Kufuor came, he repealed the criminal libel law. Do you know what Kufuor did? Yes, he repealed the criminal libel law. But when he was about to leave office, he subtly reintroduced the criminal libel law in the form of the Electronic Communications Act. So these are the issues on the table. It's not about who can formulate violence better. Some of us are born. We were trained with violence. My mother won't let you wake up in the morning when you do something wrong and leave you. She will slap you. That's how some of us grew up too. Me, when I was a kid, when I go out, start a fight, and I get my ass kicked, when I'm beating, when I come home and my big brothers hears about it, they will drag me back to where the fight happened, and we have to fight it out till I win the fight. So some of us, we are not afraid of violence. Some of us can survive if there's violence in this country. But the question is that, what about the vulnerable ones, the old ones? What about the children? What about the women who cannot fight for themselves? These are the reasons why I was heated yesterday. You get it? So instead of coming out to say things that will unite us, don't use your position as a political influencer or political actor to divide us further. You get it? Some of us, if we start to formulate violence in this country, Salah Mustafa will run. There are people in this country that with all the boys that Salah Mustafa thinks that he has, when we start to formulate violence on him and his boys, they will run.
When you say when we, who are the we?
When I say we, I mean we, those we the ones that were trained out of violence. In my hometown, there's nothing like Asemna by the police station. If an issue happens and I take you to the police station, I become your eternal enemy. So it's either we fight it out or we take it to the chief palace. So instead of proposing or resorting to violence to solve your issues, there are constitutional procedures that we can use to solve the issues. If you think you are violent, you are the most violent person, you meet somebody who is more violent than you are. That's why when issues like this come, our first recourse shouldn't be resorting to violence.
Maybe he wants us to live our life like the way the people in Boko are also living their lives.
Let's not forget that we are surrounded by francophone speaking countries, francophone countries, French speaking countries.
Yeah.
When there's instability in this country, the nearest country that we can go to that speaks English is Nigeria. Can a 7-year-old girl walk from Ghana to Nigeria? Because at that time, when there's instability, you cannot go to the bank and withdraw your money and go and pick car. No. Even if you have the money, you not get the car. The driver himself is running. So who will pick you up to that place that you want to go? So you have to walk. We saw Liberia. It is Ghana that they came. They were loaded in articulated trucks. Some people died in those trucks. Some people didn't get here alive. So if issues like this come, for the sake of our own vulnerable in the society. For me, I can run. Salah Mustafa can run. You think I cannot run? Let's do prayer right now. Let's see who runs faster. Salah Mustafa might be able to run. But what about his grandmother? What about his child? What about his cousin? What about the blind? Can they also run? And when people are coming at you, when there's instability and people are coming at you, they will not come and ask you which political party you are affiliated to. They just come at you. So please, I'm begging the political actors. Yesterday I was rude and harsh and insulting. Today I'm begging them that they have to start to put the interest of this nation first above themselves, their political parties, and their political party ideologies. The nation must come first. There are people who took bullets, died and bled for this country. They didn't do it for themselves. They did it for the sake of Ghana. So if Abronye is in remand, he should take it as service to the country.
But do you think there could have been another alternative?
Wouldn't you ask me how that is a service to the country? I thought you were going to ask me. That's why I ended. The reason why I'm saying it's service to the country is that people will learn from what he is going through.
Deterrent.
Yes. So now ask your question.
He's going to be used as a scapegoat.
Yes. He should.
So what I'm asking is there no other punishment than remanding Abonye?
The remand is not punishment. The remand is not punishment.
But that is what we see it.
It's not punishment. Seeing it that way is wrong.
So what is it then?
It is keeping you so that when we need you, we can find you.
But he doesn't have the freedom. You don't think that is punishment?
How is that punishment? Has he been sentenced? Has he been convicted of the crime?
But he has been kept at one place.
Okay. So
which is restricting him from doing what he, maybe certain businesses. And I even learned his health is deteriorating.
It's not a problem at all. There are people who've died in jail in this country. And
oh, come on, Mr. Dubik.
Let me be honest with you. I don't have sympathy for this kind of person. I will never have a sympathy, an ounce of sympathy for him. He deserves whatever he's going through. And if there's anything worse than that, he should go through it. Next time he will learn.
So if he comes back and he does the same thing again,
then he will go again.
You don't consider jailing him?
No. You see, putting somebody in jail, in remanding somebody is not punishment. You understand? That's why sometimes you can be accused of murder. I can come to a crime scene, then see the culprit with a knife stabbing the person till the person dies. When the person is arrested, the person doesn't say because they were eyewitness or the person even admitted to the crime, we are just jailing the person. If there are other additional investigation to be done, you'll be handed over to the police to keep you and do the investigation. If they think you are a flight risk, you can run away, they will keep you till the case is done and sentencing is given. The sentencing is the punishment, but the remand is to keep you in a place that we can find you when we need you, or to even prevent you from influencing or what do they even call this thing? Interfering with the investigation. We can also say to prevent you from committing further crime. Let's hold you. For instance, we arrest a serial killer who has killed like 7 women. I'm just using it as an example. Then we say, oh, if we remand him, it is going to be punishment. It's going to look like punishment. So let's give him bail. Don't you think a serial killer will continue killing? That's why we remand you. These are the things or the reasons why we remand you. for us to find you, for you to aid in investigations, so that you don't run away, so that you don't interfere with investigation. So I don't see remand to be punishment. When we are done with the case, you'll be sentenced or you'll be let go, depending on how the case go. So it is normal in prosecutions.
Right. Should communicators and commentators be educated on how to communicate?
Of course.
Because as it stands now, it's rampant and it's becoming unbecoming.
Of course. You see, the laws on speech, how to talk, must be taught before you even become a communicator. Nowadays, everybody pick their bag and then get a social media platform, a radio station, a TV station, and then run to and say and call themselves communicators. I think it is not right. I think that to even allow you to communicate on behalf of a political party, the political party should train you.
That would be the responsibility of the political
Yes,
party.
because you are communicating on their behalf. To train you, it shouldn't be the state bearing that cost. It should be the political parties training you. So, for instance, so if somebody is assigned to come to Ghana Talks Radio as a political party communicator, he should show his credentials. Oh, I was trained for this number of months under this institute by this professor, by this doctor, and now I am satisfied to communicate.
So that should also be a requirement for media houses to also look at before inviting guests to speak on their channels.
Do they have ethics? The communicators, the political party communicators, do they have ethics? You as a journalist, have you learnt your ethics? You have. You learnt it in the university. You learn the media ethics. Lawyers learn ethics to their profession. Doctors have ethics and they learn it. Nurses have ethics and they learn it. So if party communicators are there and they think that they can talk freely, then there's something wrong. They should also come out with guidelines, ethics, as to the things they are allowed to say and the things they cannot say.
So I think that is equally something we can also look at as a country. And
in sanitizing the system, I think that these are some of the things that we should do. Nowadays, anybody wake up because they are TESCON or TAIN member, they think that they have earned the right to communicate on radio station. They go sit on radio stations and say whatever they want to say. It is not right.
Well, I also heard comments of bail sentence being too much as well. I didn't really...
Bail sentence as in how? I don't get it.
Sorry, as in the bail conditions they give to a person, it's too much.
Why is it too much? Okay, you are accused of stealing my phone. The phone probably cost me 21,000 cedis, or 23,000 or 25,000 cedis. Then I take you to the police station. You are arrested. You are granted a bail of 5,000 cedis. You stole my phone. You sold it.
For how much?
For 17,000 or 18,000.
And they are bailing you for
5,000.
Oh, that one is not fair.
So if you run, you can decide to give the 5,000 to what do you call it? The person who signed for your bail. Or mobile now their mom. The bail is not the money they take. The bail is the assurance they get from you that when you run, this is how much the person who stood in to sign your bail is owing to the state. But we must verify to see, say, you have those, you are capable to pay that amount when the person runs. So just prove that the bail the amount in the bill you can pay. That's all.
So it's not like a money they take from you.
No, they don't take the money from you. They are saying just come and prove that you have this amount in case the person runs away. We come and get the money from you. So the analogy I made with my phone. Do you think it will be fair that they give you a bail condition of 5,000 cedis. You sold the phone for 18,000 cedis. Then you give the 5,000 to the person who signed your bail so that you can run. How much have you made? You've made 13,000 or 12,000. Would you sit down and wait to be prosecuted? And when you run and you come back, we cannot arrest you again. No. Once you've taken the money, we cannot arrest you.
Yeah.
So these are the reasons why bail conditions are set to fit the crime that they say you've committed. I hope you get it.
Yeah.
So I find it difficult to understand why they say what they say sometimes. Knowing all these things, and they know more about the law than I do. Most of the people that talk like this knows more about the law than I do. So if I can understand the law this way, what prevents them? Is it that they are just doing propaganda or being intellectually dishonest? Because I don't get it. I really don't get it. These things are simple for anybody to understand.
Well, they are holding a workshop, and we are just hoping that after that workshop, they will learn something and we will see the difference.
Which people are holding those?
The NPP is holding a workshop.
For who?
For their party.
Is that why none of them came today?
Oh no, I don't think so. I think this is for the executive. And also I heard Baumia making some comments that they shouldn't use his name to sack out any MP. Yeah. So that.
You want me to talk about that?
Oh. I mean, they talk about everything.
Man on a zip. Man on a zip.
But where from all these comments? Where from these? Are there any signs?
Yes.
Oh, you have?
Yes.
Hey, then I'm not here.
Hey, you're not here. Me and Kumasi was whatever goes down there. I hear.
So who are they kicking out?
They are kicking out. What do you call it? The Jusu MP for supporting Kennedy Japan.
Is it Afenyo?
No, Afenyo is not the one. Abi, it is engineered and orchestrated by some executive in the party.
Oh.
That because that MP was vocal about his support for Kennedy Japan, they are finding every means possible to kick him out.
He said he doesn't have any problem with anybody supporting his contenders.
You see,
now they are all one people.
You see, there's one thing saying it in public and really acting on what you said.
Oh, but don't you think Baumia is actually acting?
Let me tell you what is happening at the Joshua constituency.
Okay.
The MPP has an album that they use in voting. Right?
Album.
Yes, their own internal.
Is it like a book?
Yes, with the name of the people eligible to vote.
Okay.
Now, the coordinator who is supervising over the Joshua constituency branch election says that they won't use their album. They'll use the main what do you call it? EC album.
Did they give reasons why they are not going to use their album?
And they are not going to print ballot papers. They are just going to write the name. You're just going to write the names and you take.
And that will be for their internal elections.
Yes, that will be for their internal. You take. So by so doing, you don't know the number of people who are eligible to vote on that day. Because they are not using their own album, you don't know the number of people who are eligible to vote on that day. And by the virtue that they are not using proper ballot papers with what do you call it, codes to identify that this ballot paper is this number and that ballot paper is that number. Anybody at all can take like 5 papers and come and dump it into the ballot box.
That's stealing now.
That is where the challenge is. So everything is rigged against that member of parliament.
To boot him out.
To boot him out. And he came out to say it at one of the Kumasi radio stations. I think, what do you call it? Is it Pure Angel or something? Either Pure Angel or Lawson. One of these radio stations. He came out to say it. So I think that instead of Baumia just coming out to say these things, he should act on it and make sure that they have guidelines for their branch elections, constituency elections, and national elections. They should stick by it and make sure the proper things are done. It's not just by math. Oh. It's not just by math. You don't have to just by the virtue of saying it doesn't mean that it will come to being. It doesn't work that way. So he should be bold and make sure that the laws that is governing their own internal elections are implemented to its fullest
and enforced as well.
They shouldn't be cutting corners and making people inconvenient. You see, one thing about the Joshua constituency is that NDC can win that seat.
Easy peasy.
NDC can win that seat if there's the MPP doesn't do things right.
Okay.
If that constituency is divided between the MPP or among the MPP folks, NDC has the tendency of winning that constituency. And imagine NDC winning a constituency like a Joshua constituency in the Ashanti region.
That would be a big blow.
Yes.
All right, Mr. DeVig, thank you for bringing this to light to us. This is still the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. We are streaming live on Facebook at Ghana Talks Radio, on YouTube at Ghana Talks Radio, and also on X at Ghana Talks Radio. Tell us what you also know. Send in your comments. We'll do well to read them back to you. Send us your suggestions and your opinions as well. Let's get interactive right here on the morning show. Right, at this juncture, we are going to be delving into our topic for discussion this morning. Supreme Court admits 14 CSOs in OSP's constitutionality case. 14 CSOs have been admitted to join an important court case challenging the constitutionality of the office of the special prosecutor. Mr. Dubik, I believe you've seen this in the news.
Yes, I have.
Are they going to rescue the OSP, since they are also anti-corruption bodies as well, and they are said to be neutral?
The OSP himself cannot rescue himself, so.
Yeah, but what do you make of the ruling of the Supreme Court to add these 14 CSOs?
I think that it is good.
You think it's good?
It is good for our democracy. Amicus curiae. They went by amicus curiae.
Yeah.
That means being friends of the court. They didn't go as party to the case, but they went in there as friends of the court to give the court a perspective they might not get, since they believe that the OSP, the Attorney General, and the person that took the issue to court are all singing the same chorus. You get it? So I understand that it is right for somebody to give a different perspective to aid the court in coming to a sustainable decision, a decision that cannot be questioned in years to come. See, but what are the issues? We've had this conversation so many times. The issues of the OSP having the power to prosecute and not having the power to prosecute is founded on the Article 88. Today I'll do the issues with you. So if you can read the Article 88 for me, not its entirety, just read the powers that the OSP get, that the Constitution gives to the OSP, to the Attorney General.
Article 88. So Article 88. There shall be an Attorney General of Ghana who shall be a Minister of State and the principal legal advisor of the government. The Attorney General shall discharge such other duties of a legal nature as may be referred or assigned to him by the President or imposed on him by this Constitution or any other law, The Attorney General shall be responsible for the initiation and conduct of all prosecutions of criminal offences.
Initiation and what?
And conduct of all prosecutions of criminal offences.
This is where I really need.
Okay.
When you say this Article 88 forms the Attorney General's office, it has given unto them a responsibility. And we all understand that the Constitution is the supreme law. It's above any other law in this country. A constitutional provision is above any other law in this country. That is why when a parliament goes and do an act that contradicts a provision in the Constitution, that law is deemed void. When that law is challenged in the Supreme Court will set that law aside. What does the OSP law says? Read the act that brought about the OSP.
That will be in the OSP's act.
Mm-hmm.
But what does the CSO actually add to this particular case?
You see, according to them, they were consulted when this OSP act was being discussed. They did a lot of consultations, and they believe that some of them even contributed in drafting the law for the OSP Act. So they think that they want to give the court an insight that is not public, it's not known. When you see, that is the spirit of the law.
Could it be an insight, like they're looking for something outside the box?
No, they already, you see, the law is the law. Mm-hmm. But sometimes we have the spirit and the letter of the law. The intention. When the court is interpreting, when the Supreme Court is interpreting a law,
mm-hmm.
the intention of the law is also considered. That's the spirit of the law.
Okay.
What the law was intended to do will be considered. And I think that is what they want to add to, the perspective, the things that will go into the judgment. But I wanted you to read the long title of the OSP Act. Do you have it?
Yes. An act to establish the office of the special prosecutor mm-hmm. as a specialized agency to mm-hmm. investigate specific cases of alleged or suspected corruption and corruption-related offenses involving public officers and politically exposed persons mm-hmm. in the performance of their functions, mm-hmm. as well as persons in the private sector involved in the commission of alleged or suspected corruption mm-hmm. and corruption-related offenses. Mm-hmm. Prosecute these offenses on the authority of the Attorney General.
On the authority of what?
Of the Attorney General.
So
and
does
provide
this,
for the related matters.
Does this contradict Article 88? It doesn't. Per the long title, this act doesn't contradict that Article 88. Article 88 says the Attorney General has the sole responsibility to initiate and conduct all criminal prosecutions in this country. And according to the long title of the OSP Act, it says that even though we are giving the OSP these powers to prosecute corrupt-related cases and politically exposed people, he must do it on the authority of the Attorney General. You understand?
Yeah.
That is another leg. Let's go into the second leg. The second leg will be separation of powers. I hear people talk about, there was an ally. The ally in effect gives the OSP, the SP, mm-hmm. the authority to prosecute corrupt related cases without necessarily going to what do you call it?
To the AG.
AG for authorization. That is weird. That is, I don't get it when people talk like that. You see,
but is that not what he has been doing all this while?
No, you see, that is what he has been doing all this while, but it is wrong. Let me explain to you. You understand? LI is legislative instrument. You see, prosecution is not done by the legislature. It is done by the executives. Attorney General is under the executive. You get it? So by means of just having an LI, cannot authorize the, what do you call it, the SP or the office of the special prosecutor to prosecute on behalf of the Attorney General. Because Parliament don't have that right, don't have that power to be able to give some to the SP. You get it? The power to prosecute is with the executive. So the executive must give you authorization to do it on their behalf, not Parliament giving you what they don't have. How can you give me something that you don't have? How can you give somebody something that you don't have? Because it appears that the legislative arm of government doesn't have the power to prosecute. That's why even if you are taken to, what do you call it, these people, PAC, Public Accounts Committee. If you are taken there and they find out there's wrongdoing, they refer you to who?
The AG.
Do they prosecute you themselves?
No.
If they had the power, why don't they prosecute people at the PAC themselves? So the power to prosecute is not with the legislature, it is with the executive,
which is the AG.
So if the legislature has passed a law establishing an office that is supposed to work on behalf of the executive, it is the executive that will give the authorization for them to work. You understand? The legislature can pass the law, establish the office, but the establishment of the office alone is not the authority at which the office will use to work. You understand? For instance, you are a landlord. I'm your tenant. And there's an issue in my room that you want a carpenter to come and fix. Can you just open the door and let the carpenter enter, or I will have to open the door and permit the carpenter to enter my room? I'll open the door and permit the carpenter to enter my room. So that permission is what the OSP doesn't have. Even though the law is the creator of legislature, which is in this case the landlord, but the AG, who is the tenant, must allow the carpenter to enter the room and perform the duties that the landlord has given the carpenter, which is in this case will be an executive instrument, not a legislative instrument. Do you get my point?
Yeah.
So the CSOs can go there and give whatever perspective that they want. Once again, we are going the lazy man's approach again.
Which is still involved.
Yes, we are this thing that we are doing, the 14 CSO going to the court to do whatever they want to do. It is still the lazy man approach that we are taking.
But they asked to be a part of it.
No, the right approach is to amend the constitution and amend Article 88 and give some of the powers to the OSP. But we are finding ways to use the Supreme Court to circumvent certain things and make it appear clean. Some years to come, we will still have this conversation if things are not done right.
Now, let's look at what the CSO actually do. So, as part of their mandates, election monitoring, policy influence, human rights advocacy, civic education. That is what they are entitled to do. So I think this will fall under policy influence.
So why can't they? A constitution amendment is also a policy, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So why are they not influencing this policy in that direction? Why are they driving us towards the lazy man approach again? Because you see, the Supreme Court can interpret the law, but they cannot amend the constitution. They can interpret the laws in the constitution, but they don't amend it. Let's understand this well. If the Supreme Court says anything contrary to what do you call it, that Article 88 has said, it is an amendment, not interpretation.
So would you say that the Supreme Court is just doing the bit of what the CSOs want?
No, it is not doing the bit of what the CSOs want.
Because since they asked to be a part, okay.
No, they can be heard.
Okay, but their words wouldn't be taken.
Yes, they can hear them. You can't deny somebody the right to be heard.
Then why doesn't the Supreme Court explain things to them better to exclude them?
No. Exclude them how? They cannot exclude them. If they exclude them, if they throw out their case, it will say their right is being curtailed. Their right to be heard is being curtailed.
Because they've been given 14 days to bring their brief. And just from your submission, even if they bring their brief, it's like they are still not going to use what, in as much as we are going to listen to what you have brought, we are going to read it, but we are still not going to work with it.
You see, I'm not being prejudicial here. Maybe there can be some side of the law that I have not averted my mind to.
Okay,
that
so
the Supreme
you
Court,
don't know it
yes,
all.
That the Supreme Court must base their decision on and give a ruling in favor of the CSOs or the chief, what do you call it, the OSP. But in my opinion, for the little knowledge I have in law, for the little that I've read about law, I think that the right way to go is not for interpretation, or the right way to go in this thing is to amend Article 88, amend the Constitution in itself, to now incorporate the office of the special prosecutor and give it powers that stems from the Constitution. You understand? If we all agree that the Constitution is the supreme law of the country, anything that we do is supplementary. Any law that we do is to supplement the Constitution and the areas the Constitution doesn't cover. You understand? If the OSP office is established by an act, don't you think it would be better if we amend the Constitution and make it a creation of the Constitution? Do we have a problem with the Attorney General's office? No. Because it is the creator of the Constitution. Imagine if we didn't take the lazy man approach and used a constitutional amendment to bring forth the office of the special prosecutor. Will we be having that same problems that we are having today? No. So why are we going the same route?
Right. So all what the OSP needs to do is to ask for authorization from the Attorney General.
Yes, that is all that OSP has to do.
Is it too hard to do?
It is ego.
Would you say it is ego, or
what is it?
Interference into his office?
How is somebody interfering? The Constitution, you see, the Constitution says that all criminal prosecutions will be initiated and conducted by the Attorney General.
Yeah.
Your own act, the OSP Act, says that to do that on behalf of the Attorney General, you need authorization. How does that become interference?
I wouldn't say that the Attorney General's office is an independent body because it's been appointed by the president. Now, the OSP goes to pursue a case. And
who appoints the OSP?
Okay. The president as well appoints the OSP, but is expected to work independently. But the Attorney General is a party member.
But who told you the OSP is not a party? Doesn't he vote?
But is it obvious?
The SP, doesn't he vote?
But is it obvious?
Doesn't he vote?
But is it obvious that
And
he belongs to
no,
this
you see, yes, Martin Amidu was a known NDC figure.
Okay. But do you know for Kisi Ejabin?
Madam.
No. But do you know for Kisi Ejabin?
Let's not say things that we know at the background. It's okay. I don't.
But you know, because I don't know.
So
it's expected that he can't be neutral.
Mamen cousin will be not here. Me say, Jimensa, cry twaba. Why? Jimensa or twaba? Ubian can't say ne ballot ne spoiled. So Jimensa, it is right to assume say Jimensa twaba or twaba mobi.
Right. So let's proceed. So if the OSP pursues the case and the Attorney General doesn't give him the authorization to prosecute the case, what then happens?
Okay. The authorization isn't. We are not preaching that the authorization should be done case by case.
Okay.
That's why I brought in the LI and the EI. When the Attorney General introduces an EI, it gives the the OSP a permanent authorization to prosecute cases on behalf of the Attorney General. That's why Ghana Police does prosecution, so you know that, right? Ghana Police does prosecution.
Yeah.
Senate does prosecution. GRA does prosecution. But they do that on the back of an EI. Have you ever heard that Ghana Police needs authorization from the Attorney General to go and prosecute a particular case? No, because that case has been that authorization has been given to them permanently. They will seek the advice of the Attorney General when the case is complicated. You get it? But that is not advice. Is not authorization. Advice is how to go about the case. You understand? Sometimes the charges to prefer, sometimes the procedures to follow. You understand? But that itself is not authorization. The authorization has been given to the Ghana Police long ago. That is what we are preaching, that instead of wasting our energy, wasting the state resources on this interpretation issue, we can admonish the Office of the Special Prosecutor to apply for the authorization and the Attorney General to bring forth an EI. How is this difficult? If we cannot do this and we want something permanent, then we should amend the Constitution and make the Office of the Special Prosecutor a constitutional creature. How is this difficult for anybody to understand? As I'm in Kenya, but Ghana for Casa Bebre, where the way I could way na way I could for way na way na fe na obi abetre adwen a wonim obi apese hu se ono ne nim ade emfa mo bia emfa ruma. Sometimes the simplest route to solve a problem is the best route to solve that problem, or is the best solution to the problem. You don't have to overcomplicate things. AG, do the EI. Attorney, what do you call it? OSP. Apply for the authorization. These are just the two simplest forms of solving the issue.
So
another form of solving the issue is amending the Constitution.
Right. So you mentioned that it's not going to be every time that the OSP needs to go to the Attorney General to be asking for authorization. So if he seeks for authorization, doesn't have a timeline?
As in how? As in the time.
As in the number of cases, it's like as a source.
No. If he seeks authorization, you see, there's something called a fiat. A fiat comes with limitations. Sometimes they can give you a fiat as to the kind of cases you prosecute and the court you can prosecute those cases at.
So that is a restriction, isn't it?
That's why we have the labor court, we have the criminal court, we have. So depending on the institution, you see, in exercising, if the Constitution gives you the right to exercise an authority, there are limitations. So we have the procedural limitation, and we have institutional limitation. There are three, but I can remember two, which is the most important part of what we are talking about right now. The institutional limitation is your institution, what it can do and what it cannot do. The procedural limitation is the limitations in procedure. Even though you are in this institution allowed to do this, but there are procedures that you can follow to get that same thing that the Constitution allows you to do. So in this case, what are the limitations on the Attorney General? The limitations of the Attorney General doesn't exist, in my opinion, because the Constitution has given it the right to prosecute and initiate or conduct all criminal cases, all, including the ones the OSP is doing, all. But under the OSP, there are institutional limitations and procedural limitations. One of the procedural limitations is to get authorization, to be authorized by this what do you call it, the Attorney General. So if you, in spite of the fact that you, the office of the special prosecutor, is seized with the authority to prosecute, what do you call it, all corrupt cases, the limitation here, the procedural limitation here, is that you need an authorization from the Attorney General to be able to prosecute the case.
The cases.
You understand? So these are the issues, and this is what the conversation should be about. Not a clash of egos or who wants the office to work and who wants to collapse the office. Is the law of the special prosecutor defective? Yes, in my opinion, it is.
Is defective?
Yes.
Meaning?
Meaning, if you give a power to, no, let me say, if the Constitution gives a power to the Attorney General, you cannot use the Act of Parliament to take part of that power that the Constitution has given the, what do you call it, the Attorney General for the special prosecutor. It doesn't make sense, because we agree. There's no contention to the fact that the Constitution is the supreme law. It supersedes every law in this country. I said that first when I started.
Yes.
There's no ambiguity. There's no disagreement on that fact. That is a fact. So if that is the supreme law, how then do we say that we have done a supplementary law, an act, that now takes some of the power from the Constitution and giving it to somebody else? How does that work?
Right. So the CSOs are said to be neutral bodies.
Yes.
They are not affiliated to any political parties.
So they say.
Yeah. Since you brought that up, do you think they are really neutral and they are going to give an objective opinion pertaining?
Everybody has their own interest. I have my own interest. They have their own interest.
Okay. So would you say that their line of argument should be that the law should be enacted?
Their line of argument.
So the OSP should stay.
That law has already been enacted. Their line of argument should be a constitutional reform.
Okay.
That's how they should be arguing. They shouldn't have even joined this matter in the first place. They could have admonished the government or admonished the person who took the issues to the court to withdraw the case, and let's do a constitutional review and enact the office of the special prosecutor, make it a constitutional creature. But, well, I'll be surprised if the Supreme Court judge this case otherwise.
What will be your expectation for this particular case from the Supreme Court?
Well, I think that they should put the laws where it's supposed to be. They shouldn't try to massage anybody's ego, or they shouldn't try to satisfy a group of people. Their fidelity is to Ghana to the constitution, not to a CSO, not to a particular institution. So they should interpret the law as it is. They should make the interpretation make sense to the ordinary Ghanaian, and we shouldn't need a lot of explanation to understand what they are trying to do. Just like what they did with the vacant members of parliament issue. Remember that one?
Which of them?
You see,
is it Pandai?
No, not Pandai. When the speaker declares some seat vacant.
Okay, yeah.
They are ruling on the case. Do you understand it? Do you understand it? They are ruling on the matter,
which was way back.
Yes. Do you understand it?
I didn't really follow
it.
Yeah.
Okay. What about when they said birth set is not a document to
for
prove your
identity,
your citizenship? Do you understand it?
No.
You don't understand
No.
it. So what I'm trying to say is that they have given rulings that logically the ordinary Ghanaian cannot fathom, cannot understand. So this particular ruling should help it make sense to the ordinary Ghanaian. You understand? Because me, that ruling, I've read it time and time again. I don't understand why a birth cert is the primary document to obtain a passport. Passport can prove your nationality. A birth cert is a primary document to get what you call a Ghana card. Ghana card can prove your nationality. But the birth cert itself,
that was given to you.
That was given to you
at the hospital.
At the hospital.
The day you were born.
The day you were born.
It's
which
not.
has the name of your parents, where they come from. And by our constitution, if your parent is a Ghanaian, you are also a Ghanaian. So by the virtue that your mother, your father names are there, and where they come from is on the form, tells you where you come from, right?
Yeah.
So if we have that document and the Supreme Court says it is not a proof of nationality, it is up to them. They are the court. Whatever they say, we have no other option than to say yate. So whatever ruling that they bring on this, we will say yate.
Even if you are not happy with it,
what can we do?
You can still appeal.
Who?
Anyone at all who is not in favor of it.
I don't waste my money to appeal on these kind of issues.
Lastly, on this topic, in your opinion, should the OSB's law be enacted and the SP stays, or
that law already exists?
Yeah. So should the SP stay?
The SP himself,
as in the individual.
Oh, me for the individual there.
You think he should be?
I have my reservations, but I don't want to say so it looks like I'm attacking him or anything. I have my reservations
because as it stands now, it looks like they are trying to. And now it looks like they are trying to play politics with this particular case, making it look like it's the ruling government that want to boot this particular party, the OSP, out.
But there was a petition that was sent to the...
But the Attorney General is siding with the petitioner now.
Siding with the petitioner? If that, you see, the Attorney General is not supposed to oppose everything somebody takes to court. There are times that Attorney General will go to court. Then the the defendant will apply for bail. Then Attorney General will agree. I don't have any opposition to the bail. Does that mean that Attorney General is wrong in agreeing with the
Should he have done it separately?
How? If he agrees with the plaintiff, he agrees with the plaintiff. What is the issue?
So it doesn't look like...
It doesn't look like what?
You are fighting the
When Afenyo Markin took the Speaker of Parliament to court on the vacant issue, did the Attorney General oppose it? He agreed with the Afenyo Markin. So is it the first time this is happening in this country?
So it's a fair play.
I said if the Attorney General agrees with the plaintiff, he agrees with the plaintiff. That is law.
Is it because it has been done before?
No, that is law. If I agree with you, I agree with you. I don't have to disagree with you. Is it a must that Attorney General must disagree with anybody that takes
But
this
looking
thing to
at
the court?
who he is and also the plaintiff,
So
and
he
all
must
the
disagree because
issues-
he
and all the issues that the plaintiff the petitioner has a relation with the deputy attorney general.
What relation? What's the relation?
That they are friends.
How are they friends?
And
they work in the same law firm. Are you friends with everybody that works in this institution? The plaintiff, the petitioner.
The petitioner.
The petitioner. Are you friends with everybody that works here? You can work with somebody here, and you are not even friends. What you do is hello.
But you're in the same institution.
Yeah, but what you say is hello. Does that make you friends?
Oh. So what if there's an influence?
You see, I'm coming. Let me ask you this question. Did the plaintiff say anywhere that he's there because he's friends with the Attorney General?
He never said that. He never said that. But because we want to,
But friends can take each other to court. Have you ever heard that before?
Yes.
That they are friends.
Yeah.
Even in a company, when interest doesn't align, we can sue each other. Even our shareholders. So where is this? Where is this coming from? You see, if there was, what do you call it, a legal principle that the Attorney General cannot befriend somebody, or if you're friends with somebody, you cannot become the Attorney General, I'll understand. So are you telling me that based on this, if a client, you see, let's not forget that all the Attorney Generals that we have had in the past has been private practitioners. They have defended people in court against the state. So, for instance, I am a private legal practitioner. I defend you in court. Then later, I become the Attorney General. And another issue comes to court regarding you. Am I to say that even if you are right in the eyes of the law, I should say because I defended you or I know you in the past, I should oppose you? No. Per what I just read to you, the laws that I've cited in this our discussion this morning, you will understand that the Attorney General have no choice than to agree. You see, let's not think that the Supreme Court judges are zombies. And whatever argument the Attorney General and the petitioner will go and make is what they are going to take. Even without the CSOs, there can be a situation that the Supreme Court will listen to the Attorney General and the petitioner, who are both speaking the same language, and depart from what they are saying. And there can be a time that Attorney General will oppose what the petitioner is saying, and the Supreme Court will say, okay, you people are disagreeing on these things, but let's go through the middle. The law says you should go through the middle. The Supreme Court is not under any obligation to agree with any of the parties. The Supreme Court can disagree with both parties, even though they have opposing views. You understand?
Yeah.
That aspect of law also exists. So let's not assume because they are all agreeing on the same matter, when the issue gets to the Supreme Court will automatically agree because the two people that came to court are in agreement. So, for instance, Abronye's issue, this is the second time he's been remanded. The first time, when his people, when his lawyers applied for bail, the Attorney General agreed and said he was not opposed to bail. But the judge said he was remanding him. So you see, in that instance, Attorney General and Abronye's lawyers agreed on something.
Yeah.
But the judge said, I'm disagreeing. So that can happen in the Supreme Court.
Right.
And I know someone to say.
We are just hoping for the best. Anyways, this is still the Ghana Talks with us show. We're streaming live on Facebook at Ghana Talks Radio, on YouTube at Ghana Talks Radio, and also on X at Ghana Talks Radio. Do also log on, send in your comments. Let's get interactive right here on the morning show. Right, at this juncture, we'll be moving to our next topic for discussion. Government to unveil new economy flagship policy to create more jobs. Ghana's Finance Minister Kesa Lato-Forsen says government is preparing to launch a new major economic policy called the New Economy. According to him, the new policy will focus mainly on job creation, economic development, industrial growth, and expanding opportunities for Ghanaians. The announcement comes after Ghana and the International Monetary Fund reached a staff-level agreement on the final review of Ghana's IMF program, New Economy, and is expected to create jobs. And 24-hour economy, yeah, was it?
Abronia has been granted bail.
Oh, really?
Yes. Accra High Court grants Abronia bail, grants bail to Abronia DC in the sum of 100,000 with 2 sureties.
So he's free to go now.
So what was the noise about?
After the diplomatic community.
What was the noise about?
After going to weaponize all the youth.
What was the noise about?
They have to come and apologize.
So you see the nonsense I talk about every day.
So Abronia has been granted bail.
8 minutes ago.
Okay.
Joy News.
All right. Confirm.
You see the noise? This is it. Let me show you to the camera, safe. You see the nonsense that I was pissed about yesterday.
Okay.
What was the point in raising the tension in this country if you know that you can go to the High Court and get a bail? Why?
Well, did they state as to why they released them?
No, it's a bail. It's a bail that they went to apply for.
So they went to apply.
Yes, you have to apply for the bail.
So what happened to them?
The court will sit on your application.
Okay.
When I say apply, it's not like writing an application letter. It is a short form of application. So they applied for the bail at the High Court because this was done at the lower court. They had to go to a higher court to quash the lower court's decision. Oh. They could have done this. Oh.
We thank God.
So, but propaganda, they put us through what we went through in the space of these few days. To the extent that Salah Mustafa Babijina say he weaponized the youth. When you know that you can go to High Court and get this ruling. What is wrong with these people?
All right. I think they've done the right thing this time around.
They should have done it long ago. Now, if you're marking this,
yeah. Abronia has finally been released.
He has been granted bail, not released.
He has been granted bail, sorry. Right, Mr. Dubik. We are done with Abronia. Abronia, he's going to rest now.
So I'm so yare.
Yes, so yare.
Politicians, they're sure man, no yare. Politicians, you're sure man, and no yare or crew.
Now to the main issue. New economy, and it's expected to create jobs.
Well, it is a step in the right direction.
Oh.
We've been
haven't we seen this before? The 24-hour economy was expected to create jobs. We've not seen it. Now they are bringing in a new policy.
So in your mind, you thought the 24-hour economy was a 1-year thing, something that will work.
I know it's a long-term policy.
So you just let's put the 24-hour aside. You see, I think that conversation is a propagandist approach to the whole conversation. You get it? When it comes to job creation, I believe that the 24, I always knew from day one that 24-hour wasn't going to be work even in 2 years. It was going to take time to fully operationalize it.
But they have just 4 years.
Does it take 6 months to build a factory that will employ 3 people in a day? Do you know the capacity of that kind of industries and what they even need to produce? Let's not forget the population of Ghana. We are just above 30, a little below 35 million people. So building this kind of industries, you must first even look at the market, what the market requires, what the market will need, before you start these factories or these companies that will employ 3 people. You get it?
Yeah.
You must factor in the revenue that these factories or industries is just going to generate to be able to employ 3 people to do 1 job. You get it? So a 24-hour economy, I didn't take it like in its literal meaning.
But were they really truthful to us about that policy?
Did you read the policy document? Did you read the policy document have you read it? In fact, have you read the 24-hour policy document that they introduced in Parliament? Have you read it? Take your time, get it and read it. If you read it, you understand nobody, deceived you. They are not saying what they promised you during the campaign, they will not do. That's what they are saying. They are saying that we are going to do it, but this is how it will be done in stages.
And do you believe that they will be able to do it before they leave power?
You see, Agenda 111. Is the current administration expected to continue it?
And another said he should continue.
What about the e-blocks? Were the previous administration expected to continue it? Government is continuing. If we feel that this is the right way to go, let's make a law backing
our project,
backing the 24-hour economy, so that somebody won't just come and say, "Oh, I did when this in the buy, I did when people in the buy, you get it." That's how we have to go. But to even think and suggest that what do you call it? 24-hour economy is a scam or they lie to you, it means you didn't understand what they were trying to do in the first place. Back to this thing, I think that it is the step in the right direction. If the youth of Ghana is going to get jobs, hallelujah. I don't have any problem with it, but I have a problem with its implementation, where it now becomes an issue. People start to take advantage of the system and steal from the system and all that. Because we've been in this country where Untumi said he wanted to start a farm, took money from Exim Bank, and it's never manifested.
Materialized.
So I think that aside those challenges, anything that will create jobs for the youth of this country, I think it is a good policy, and then we must support and all come together and point out the loopholes in these policies in case they make it readily available to the public to peruse, to shape it properly and make sure that it works effectively.
Is it going to be a strictly government project, or they are going to partner with the
I think partnering with the private sector is the way to go sometimes, not all the time.
Why?
There are some industry or department of our economy that I think that the government should still maintain and hold in trust for the people. It shouldn't be allowed for private individuals to dominate that part too much. You get it? Because when you allow private partners or private sector people to take over critical department of the economy, what is that? That is that the government lose control over that and cannot even regulate it properly. You get it? So sometimes you need regulators like the Bank of Ghana in charge of the banking sector, the NPA is in charge of the petroleum sector and all that. And having GOIL as a government or a state-owned institution playing in that will help us more. In spite of we having, what do you call it, other private BDCs, BOCs, bulk oil distributing companies, BODCs, yes. Having them in the system helps, but having GOIL too also make sure that the government remain an industry player in that sector. So for instance, if people are increasing their fuel prices anyhow, the government can decide that, okay, GOIL is mine, I'll take the burden and reduce it. So if anybody wants to go and buy fuel, they can go to GOIL and buy. You get it? These are some of the
very
things.
Competitive.
Yes, these are some of the things that the government should do when it comes to job creation. It shouldn't just leave everything to the private sector. It should play a role in job creation. It should have institutions or industries that are solely run by the government, controlled by the government. You get it? But it should enable the private sector to participate. For instance, tax incentive, cheaper loans, giving them grants and all that can also help to boost industries and make sure that we employ more. So I think it is a good policy, and then we have to just get it done.
Okay. On the side of the youth, do you think that there's something that we are not doing right as to why we are seeing the rate of unemployment going up? Is it that we are lazy, or would you blame our system or the government?
This is a tricky question. Same question was asked of Sosu, and then he made the Indomie statement, and people didn't even understand what he meant with that Indomie statement. What he meant, and I agree with him, is that if you are not employed yet, do something little, something that does not require huge capital to keep you afloat.
That's all.
How much do you need to start an Indomie business? You need the small cylinders, a gas of 200 cedis. If the cylinder costs you 400 and a gas of that cylinder cell phone costs 400.
It's 250. The last I checked.
Plus the gas or minus the gas?
Minus the gas.
Okay, so the gas will cost you like 120 cedis. So 250 plus 120, how much? 370.
That's 370.
370. Then go and buy a box of Indomie. You buy spices, oil, sardine,
vegetables,
sardine, eggs, and maybe somebody will say, I want sausages. You buy sausages.
It's necessary.
So in all, if you have 1,000 Ghana cedis, you can start an Indomie business.
In this economy?
Yes.
1,000 cedis.
You see, you don't have to buy a box of everything.
I get it, but you need a location, or you can start from your house.
Don't we order online?
Okay.
We order online, and nowadays every single youth in this country has a smartphone, and they use their smartphone to do social media activities. All you have to do is register on both food, Uber Eats. All you have to do is that one. Just register on both food on Uber Eats. Once your food is done, once somebody orders, you just go to the kitchen. You prepare it for the person. You can do it from your house.
So you would say that the youth, we are part of our own problems.
You see, we have had an educational structure. You see, it is not just, I won't blame solely the youth. We've had an educational structure that doesn't help students to be entrepreneurs. It teaches us to be employees instead of entrepreneurs.
Oh, but my school, I did entrepreneurship. I learned how to do a lot of things.
And when you finish with the school, what are you doing with it?
Oh, I think I'm doing some.
What are you doing with it?
I'm doing some.
The focus of your education was not the entrepreneurship. The focus, Abi, you went to Unimark.
The best school.
Right.
Share. I did advertising. I did marketing.
So what was the base of the program that you did?
The base.
Was it communication?
Yeah, it was communication. I did communication and did PR too.
So did they teach you entrepreneur? They taught you so that you know something related to entrepreneurship, but they didn't teach you so you become an entrepreneur.
Okay.
You understand? So in as much as they taught you entrepreneurial skills or entrepreneurship or something, it was not in depth so that you can become entrepreneur.
So you think that is what we are lacking?
Yes.
In the education system?
Yes.
Okay.
I think entrepreneurship should start from even the secondary schools, where they will do it. When you go to the university, there should be a program Just like you can go and do communication and you can go and study entrepreneurship.
Right. So in a nutshell,
I think that our educational system has been improved. I always say this.
It should be improved.
Yes. So that it will fit the need of our modern society. I think we are practicing an archaic form of education.
So education system needs to be improved. The youth, we need to up our game, and the government also has a role to play in all of this. Thank you so much, Mr. Dubig, for joining us on the morning show, and thank you too for doing the listening and the viewership. Thank you so much for joining us on the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. We call it a day. We'll meet same time tomorrow. Do have a lovely day.
Are you ready to amplify your business or brand's reach and make a meaningful impact in Ghana and beyond?